All right, patch notes. Let's go. Oh god. This update introduces two new mechanics for each hero, innate abilities and facets. Innates are abilities that are present on the hero for the entire game from the very beginning of every match. Every hero has a unique innate. The innate for each hero can be viewed on the hero page or in-game by hovering a new icon between the hero talents and abilities. There are two types of innates. Some innates grant a hero a unique effect. For example, Faceless Void slows enemy attack projectiles within range, and Dawnbreaker reveals the whole map to allies when the sun rises. So there's the patch notes. So it was Dawnbreaker, not Phoenix. I was right. Crazy. I ended up being right. Summonates change a hero ability to have 5 levels and get a free ability point at level 1. For example, Kunkut's Tidebringer and Legion Commander's Moment of Courage now start at level 1 and can still be upgraded 4 more times like normal. What the hell? So that mean it has a level 5? Facets are a hero customization choice that provide the ability to better align the playstyle of a hero with a specific match or player preference. Facets are specific to heroes. Each hero has at least 2 facets. Every player can choose the facet they prefer during strategy time. Whoa, hero facets can be viewed on the hero page below the hero name and tags. They can also be viewed in game by hovering a new icon between the hero talent and abilities on the scoreboard or on the top bar when holding Alt. Facets are set for all players after the strategy time and cannot be changed during a match. Facet choices aren't revealed to the enemy team until after the game begins. Facets can have a variety of effects. Viper can choose between adding an AoE damage burst to poison attack or increasing defensive buffs while Viper remains in Nether Toxin. What in the holy hell? The entire game is different. You got talents that make you your own build. What is this? It's like I just came from WoW. I was just moving gems around to make sure I did the most damage. And I gotta do the same shit with facets. Damn it. I said shit and damn it. Edit. Wraith King can choose between summoning skeletons or dealing additional curse damage when attacking. Leshrac can choose between his attacks restoring mana or changing Diabolic Edict to explode faster but deal no damage to buildings. Lone Druid can choose between an improved Spirit Link granting lifesteal in both directions or allowing True Form to be cast on the Spirit Bear. Jesus. These are some insane changes. Other strategy time is extended by 15-10-5 for the 1-2-3 weeks immediately after a numbered patch. Glyph of Fortification no longer refreshes when the first tier 3 is destroyed. Oh shit, okay, no more saving your base. Glyph of Fortification now refreshes when the first melee Rax is destroyed. Oh, okay, so you still can, but you lose it. You get it after a Rax. That's okay. AoE bonuses now affect all auras and cleave. Dominate creeps no longer allow players to bypass backdoor. Hero denies now grant experience to the hero who created the deniable debuff. Radiant Queen of Pain casts Shadow Strike on a dire Shadow Shaman. Shadow Shaman then gets denied. Queen of Pain and only Queen of Pain will receive experience for the hero kill, but no gold. Oh, so now denying a hero gives you experience with a gold. Okay. Mana bars are always visible for enemies. Fountain buff grants couriers haste movement. If courier has no items, pressing the deliver courier button sends the courier back home. Mana cost reduction effects no longer work on abilities that drain mana over time. Okay. Attack speed displayed no longer normalized to 1.7 BAT. This means hero's max speed is always 700, and a buff that grants 20 will display as plus 20 instead of a different number based on the hero's BAT. No actual gameplay change, just a display change, so 700 is the max. Spells cast range is now always listed with a new icon, which is located near mana cost and cooldown. Holding Alt displays the vision range of all watchers in the map. Experience gained from abilities and Wisdom Rune will now show up separately in the post-game XP breakdown for Dota Plus users. Added a levels with parameter for ability descriptions to show which ability needs to be upgraded to level this one. Ability tooltips now show icons next to ability values, indicating that those are upgraded by Aghanim shards, scepter talents, or facets. Updated spectator view controls for live. Don't care about that. Pinging items of enemies that can't be seen currently no longer reveals information on whether those items were consumed or not. In demo mode, create here. Persistent range indicators. If you hold Alt while right-clicking on either your experience indicator, attack right and range indicator, or an ability item, the game will draw a persistent range indicator in the world for it. You can only have one active at a time. What the hell? Dynamic health bar focus. This health bar of any hovered unit will always draw on top of other health bars. So the one I'm clicking on will be... weird. Added the ability to type in a hero name to jump to that hero when viewing patch notes in the client. Ability draft. Oh my god, here goes the big stuff. After ability draft, not ability draft. Most people don't give a flying F about ability draft. I'm one of those people, but I'm going to read over it. Innates have the following rules for ability draft. Innate abilities that do not appear on a hero's ability bar will be automatically assigned to the hero when spawning in, but cannot be drafted. Innate abilities that can be leveled with skill points are draftable will not be automatically assigned when spawning in. All other innate abilities are disabled for ability draft. Facets have the following rules for ability draft. You could choose any hero facet belonging to your trying to set facets that grant new abilities or disable facets that replace abilities will work if you craft your abilities that are being replaced. If a facet has no effect on your hero, you can still select it in game. The facet will notate it has no effect. Okay. Item changes. Now this is what, chapter 2 for the video. Roshan's banner. Item reworked. Now grants a vulnerability to all allied lane creeps in radius. Effect radius decreased from 750 to 600. Creeps lose banner's effect once they leave the radius. Banner duration decreased from 5 to 2. Melee hero attacks now deal 2 times damage. Cast range decreased from global to 1200. Alright, so now it's just something you throw down in the middle of a fight and hope your creeps put in work. Dragonlance can no longer be disassembled. Eternal Shroud recipe costs increased from 800 to 900. Total cross increased by 100 as well. Fixed status resistance on Orchid Malevolence. Resistance, sometimes eliminating soul burns. Okay, Bloodthorn, whatever, same thing. Maelstrom, change lightning damage decreased from 120 to 110. Okay. Octarine Core, health bonus decreased. Oh, that kind of sucks. It doesn't take those items away. It's just a decrease. So does that mean, are the items decreased too? I wonder, it doesn't say that. Recipe costs increased from 550 to 650. Total costs increased from 2,000 to 2,100. No longer provides 20% status resistance. Now provides 20% slow resistance. Yasha increased. Halberd recipe cost decreased from 200 to 100. No longer provides 16 status resistance. It gives you slow resistance. That sucks. Manta style total cost increase. Meteor hammer, whatever. Yashikaya provides 25 cast speed bonus. Cast speed bonus. Hello, CM? Witch Doctor? Cast speed bonus? Faster ults? Is that what I'm hearing? Total cost increased from 4,000 to 4,200 in Con Sage. No, that's whatever. It's Wind Waker Cyclone cooldown increased from 13 to 16. Neutral item change. Ogre Seal Flop now plays a flail animation when hero is jumping. Wow, thanks for that. Amazing. Okay, Abaddon. All right, here we go. Hero changes. This is going to be basically the entire video because as you can see, the scroll wheel is literally in China. So hero changes Abaddon. We're not really going to go, well, I guess we can, but his new ability is a passive that can't be leveled up. Abaddon has a 10% faster respawn time. Every time a unit dies within 900 range of Abaddon's, all of its cooldowns are reduced by 0.2. Dying heroes reduce cooldowns by 4. Damage barrier is increased by 50%, but no longer does a burst of damage on expiration. Whenever damage is dealt to the barrier, enemies within 675 take damage equal to 80%. Increases duration and cooldown. Curse of Avernus no longer silences the target or has an attack counter. Now the full effect is applied on the first attack. Bonus attack speed decreased. Oh my god. Movement speed rescaled. Oh, Jesus. Damage per... He got nerfed into the ground. Damage per speed per second decreased from 20, 30. Wow. Duration decreased from 4 to 2. Aghanim Shard no longer improves. Wow. Abaddon is gone. That hero's dead. So dead. Level 10 Talent Curse of Avernus. Movement slow decreased from 15 to 10. Level 15 Talent Curse of Avernus. DPS decreased. Dude, this guy is just gone. Level 25 Talent, -1 Curse of Avernus attacks replaced with plus 80 attack speed. At 25, 80 attack speed. Imagine. Your faceless void. Base attack speed increase from... that seems totally unnecessary. Oh, Grievel's Greed is his new innate. Okay, and he starts with 250 bonus, so easy bottle if you mid him in turbo. Now decreases Berserk Potion cooldown by 50% and Unstable Concoction by 30% for the duration that you're ulted. Ooh, increase to his regen. No longer reduces status resistance. They seem like they got rid of status resistance or something. Alright, Ancient Apparition. New innate ability. Obviously... Wait, abilities now apply frost stacks that deal 10 damage per second and 1.5 movement slow for each stack. Each stack also reduces target strength. Improves with Ice Blast level. Huh. Cold Feet deals Death Rhyme damage to all enemies within 400. Alright, so he got fully changed. No longer deals damage on his own, now applies stacks. Stacks are dispelled when leaving the area. Break distance increased by not much. Stun duration increased by not really anything. Okay, no longer deals damage or slows movement speed on its own. Now deals stacks. So everything just gives stacks, but you lose the stacks. So you really gotta hit 10 stacks while he's in there, huh? Or not 10 stacks, but I guess it's just while he's they're in your stuff. Applies 2 death rhyme stack that lasts for 4 seconds. Bonus damage decreased. Mana cost increased. Not at the end though. No longer deals damage over time on its own. Now applies 2 stacks for the duration. What is this? This one's pretty confusing. Level 10 talent plus 40 cold feet replaced with 2 stacks. 2 cold feet stacks. Yeah, this one's confusing. Wow. Okay. Anti-mage. Mana break now is that's like the most unnecessary shit I've ever seen in my life. Mana break now is an innate ability. Passive can be leveled up with skill points. Mana burn per hit rescaled. Ooh, wow. 25, 30, 35 to 16, 23. So early game, he's way more balanced. Max mana burn per hit rescaled from 1.6, 0.8. Wow. Yeah, he's much more easy to deal with. No longer slows the target on full drain by default. Nice. Reflect spells when activated. Respect spells when activated. You put on someone else. It grants bonus attack speed when an enemy hero within 25 has less than 60% mana, increasing as their mana is depleted further up to a maximum of... Oh, so when you have... wait, what? Bonus attack damage at 15% mana, in which anti-mage gains vision and true sight of you. So if you don't even mana, he just... That's crazy. Anti-mage is Bloodseeker now. That's nuts. Blink, mana cost increased. That's not too bad. No longer reflects spells by default, only blocks them. No longer reflects by default, only blocks them. Yeah, because it's a facet. Mana cost increased from 45 to 50. Charges decreased. Okay. Level 10 talent, 9 strength replaced with 10 counter spell. Magic resistance, -1 blink cooldown replaced with 40 slow. Plus 50 blink replaced with -1 blink. Plus 20% counter spell replaced with 200 blink cast range. Weird. Alright, well. Ability effects no longer depend on the side Arc Warden plays for. Upon activating a rune, gain the regeneration rune buff for 4 seconds. Duration is reduced by 34% for activating bounty or water runes. Arc Warden and Tempest Double have their respective ability effects. Arc Warden and Tempest Double have their ability effects swapped. Duration increased to 60 seconds. The instance penalty now increases incoming damage by 75% instead of reducing outgoing damage by 50. Cooldown increased from 70 to 80, 100. Now restarts the ability cooldown if the Tempest Double is killed by enemies. This is another weird one. Magnetic Field is now a no-target ability, creating the field centered around its caster. No longer affects buildings and creeps. Now always pushes all enemies away from the bubble when created. Shard no longer provides magic resistance, and Shard now increases radiance by 75 and changes speed of attack projectiles that are inside the bubble. Enemy ones are slowed by 75%, and allied ones are sped up by 75%. Jesus, dude, these are some intricate changes. Like, my brain is spinning. Code of Blood, new innate ability. Whenever Axe kills an enemy, he gains +1 permanent armor. Kills with Culling Blade gives 2 times that amount. Ooh, that's cool. I like that one. Increases Axe strength by 6% of his armor. As long as there are no allied heroes within a 600 radius of him, effect lingers for 5 seconds after the ally walks within range. No allied heroes. So when you're by yourself, you're strong. Whoa. Increases bonus armor by 5. Taunted enemies gain +45 attack speed. Oh, so you hit him hella fast. Whoa. Whoa, he's crazy cool now. Bonus armor decreased from 14 to 20. Aghanim Scepter upgrade, move to Aghanim Shard. Still applies Battle Hunger to all affected units, but doesn't reduce cooldown. Now applies immediately after applying and every 0.5 after. Aghanim Scepter no longer provides armor to Axe. Now makes multiple Battle Hunger debuffs stackable. Oh. Aghanim Shard upgrade, move to Aghanim Scepter. Damage reduction per stack increase from 15 to 20. Max stack decrease from 6 to 5. Scepter now also allows counter helix counter to decrease when Axe attacks. Oh shit, okay. Wait, what? Now also allows counter helix counter to decrease when Axe attacks. We're back to Molnar. Molnar Axe. Molnar Axe is back. Bonus armor on kills move to innate. +1 replaced with +12 armor. Dude, Axe. Catch me on Axe. Catch me on Axe right now. Catch me on Axe. Strength gain decreased from 25 or 2.5, whatever, that's whatever's. Bane's attribute gains are always evenly distributed across all 3 attributes. Okay, it's universal. No longer grants bonus attack speed. His facet does now. And then makes it a vector target ability. Affected units start unobstructed movement in their chosen direction. What? If the effect is passed by attacking the newly affected unit walls. What? You can move him towards you? What kind of zombie? Batrider. Batrider's attack supply debuff that deals 50% of attack damage every 1 second for 2 seconds. Damage over time pierces damage block. What? After using an ability or item on an enemy hero that applies a forced movement effect, gain plus 10% movement speed and plus 8%. Wait, what? Oh, it doesn't stack. Dang. 8% spell amp's kind of nutty. Makes it apply to buildings, dealing 24. Wow. No. Ooh, he got. Oh! Holy crap, he got buffed. Damage per second decreased from 30, 60, 90. Went. What? So they nerfed this, but Omega buffed his grab. They buffed the hell out of this. First stack increase. Damage to creep decreased. Creep penalty. Damage per stack increased from 4, 8, 16 to 5, 10, 15, or 4, 8, 12, 16 to 5. Dang. So he got pretty big of a buff. 300 to 500 is kind of insane. And 100 at the first level is kind of mediocre, but he was super unviable early, basically, so. Base agility increased. Innate ability is bonus attack speed rescaled, and now only affects Beastmaster and units under his control. Bonus attack speed from inner beast increased per unit controlled by Beastmaster that is currently under the effects of inner beast. So you need units on him now. So Necrobook back. Can be activated to increase Beastmaster's attack speed by 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. While this effect is active, his attacks will also apply Wild Axe's debuff of the current level. Okay. 10 talent Wild Axe's damage amp per stack decreased from 2.5 to 2. Level 10 talent plus 30 damage replaced with 5% inner beast aura magic resist. Level 20 talent plus 30 boar and hawk damage replaced with plus 30 damage to Beastmaster and his units. Level 25 talent and minus 5 seconds Wild Axe's cooldown replaced with no Wild Axe's cooldown. Okay. Bloodseeker. Movement speed nerf. Whenever Bloodseeker kills a unit, he restores 25 health plus 1% of the unit's max health per Bloodseeker's level. Restores for half values when denying, or if an ally kills an enemy hero within 300 range. Oh, so he gets healed just for being around. This healing is classified as lifesteal. It is amplified by lifesteal. Whoa, lifesteal from creeps reduced. When attacking a ruptured target, Bloodseeker and the target get pushed 50 units in the direction Bloodseeker is facing. What the? So it's just like a free force, mini force stuff. Can be activated to grant 50% bonus movement speed for 5 seconds. Thirst does not grant passive movement speed while on cooldown. Cooldown 15 seconds. Mana cost 50. Blood Rage. Aghanim Shard heal damage increased from 30 to 35. Thirst no longer has a max HP threshold and starts at 100. Max Thirst move speed decreased from 16, 24, 32, 40 to 10, 20, 30, 40. Healing on most kills moved to innate ability, and Blood Mist now increases healing by Sanguivore instead of Thirst. So it's this now. Innate ability is Big Game Hunter. When getting a killer assist on an enemy with a kill streak, Bounty Hunter gains 10% extra gold. Shuriken damages and slows all units it passes through. Cut Purse. Bounty Hunter steals 4, 8, 12, 16 gold every time he targets a hero with a spell, value depending on the current level of track. What? That's kind of weird. Shuriken Toss, damage increased. 1 second. Alright, damage increased from 100, 150, 200, 250 to 100, 170, 240, 310. Mana cost increased from 50, 60, 70, 80, 265, 70, 75, 80. No longer slows attack speed. Mana cost decreased from 55 to 70 or 50 on Shadow Walk, and track no longer grants bonus damage, no longer provides a critical strike, and now increases all damage taken by a target by 20% at the max. Wow. Mana cost decreased from 55 to 50 to make someone else invisible. Level 25 talent, 2 Shuriken Tosses replaced with plus 275 damage. Oh my god, Brewmaster. Jesus, there's so many. It's everybody. But obviously it's everybody, but oh god. Brewmaster. Drunken Brawler. Now's an innate ability. Passive can be leveled up with skill points. Earth Brawler armor rescaled from 1357 to 13579. Earth Brawler magic resistance rescaled from 5, 10, 15, 20 to 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Storm Brawler evasion rescaled from 15, 20, 25, 30 to 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Storm Brawler movement speed rescaled from 5, 7, 9, 11 to 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Fire Brawler's crit multiplier rescaled from 120, 140, 160, 180 to 120, 135, 150, 165, 180. Fire Brawler attack speed rescaled from 10, 15, 20, 25 to 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Void Brawler status resistance rescaled from 5, 10, 15, 20 to 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. And Void Brawler slow rescaled from 10, 15, 20, 25 to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So basically just made them all viable for 5 instead of 4. When casting Cinder Brew, Brewmaster rolls the whole barrel in the targeted direction, dealing damage and drenching enemies with Cinder Brew along the way within 350 radius from the barrel. Enemies hit by the 75 range wide barrel take 50, 75, 100, and 125 physical damage. The barrel always rolls for a distance of 950 and explodes, drenching all drenching all enemies within 400 radius. When brewed up, Brewmaster moves with a varying amount of movement speed, altering between 20% slower and 50% faster. That's kind of a cool change because he's drunken. Damage decreased from 90, 60, 160, 230, 300 to 75, 150, 225, 300. Movement speed slow rescaled from 25, 35, 45, 55 to 15, 30, 45, 60. Attack speed slow rescaled from 25, 35, 45, 55 to 15, 30, 45, 60. Can now be ignited only for magical and pure damage. Physical damage spells will not ignite the target. Cool, that makes sense. Primal split. Earth Brewling's demolish damage decreased from 90, 170, 250 to 80, 140, 200. Big nerf. Storm Brewling's Cyclone Hero duration decreased from 5 to 3, 4, 5. Storm Brewling's Windwalk cooldown increased from 5 to 20, 14, 8. Storm Brewling's Windwalk bonus speed decreased from 50 to 20, 30, 40. Brewlings no longer have any movement, cooldown, or casting penalties, though. That's pretty crazy. Alright, Bristleback. Damage decreased. That sucks. Farming sucks. Warpath is now innate. Damage per scale rescaled. I'm not going to redo those. But, you know, they're just rescaled to be 5 now. Facet is Berserk. Increases attack speed by 5, 20, 5, 10, 15, 20 per stack. Damage per stack decreased from 5, 15, 20, 25 to 5 at all levels. Snot Rocket. Viscous Nasal Goo. Stack limit increased from 4 to 6. Armor reduction per stack increased from 1.52, 2.53 to 2.53, 3.54. Instead of Cool Spray, shoots viscous nasal goo in a 900 radius whenever the damage threshold is met. Ooh. Oh. Dang, so you de-armor him a lot. That's crazy. Item Shard no longer increases... Stack limit, coil stack damage rescaled from 28, 30, 32, 34 to 30 flat. Aghanim Scepter spray interval increased from 0.35 to 0.4. Ah, nerf. Spider's Milk is Brood Mother's innate. It's whenever Brood Mother kills a unit, she and all units under her control receive a fully stackable buff that heals them for 4% of the victim's health each second. This healing is classified as lifesteal. Lifesteal from creeps reduced to 40. Facets are enemies within the web have their health region reduced by 10, 15, 20, 25, 10, 15, 20, 25. Feeding Frenzy is Insatiable Hunger, applies bonuses to all spiderlings under Brood Mother's control in an 800 radius. Weird. Spin Web, move speed bonus no longer decrease with unit's current health, no longer provides health regen. Oh, that sucks. Now no longer are you invisible, you don't get health either. Incapacitating Bite is a basic ability on attack. Broodmother applies a debuff that slows for 15, 20, 25, 30, gives a 30, 40, 50, 60 miss chance, and increases all attack damage received for 2 seconds. Huh. That's a pretty strong ability early, too, with the miss chance. His PA is pretty annoying, so that's kind of the same deal. Spiderlings now create similar spiderlings instead of spider rights. Now also slows target by 25, 35, 45 for 4 seconds. Spiderlings' health decreased from 320 to 300. 15 talent decreased from 150 to 125. 20 talent, 400 AoE Silken Bola replaced with plus 10 incapacitating bite attack and damage a bonus. Level 25 talent plus 35% Silken Bola slow mischance replaced with plus 30% incapacitating bite slow mischance. Centaur War Runner. Base health region decreased. Base movement speed decreased. New ability, passive, can't be leveled up. Obviously, Centaur War Runner permanently gained plus 40 max health every 120 seconds. So turbo, that sucks. Because what is that? A max of like 800 in a turbo game? Or not even, like 400, right? Because it's 2 minutes. Yeah, 400 max health. Sick pick in turbo. Counter-Strike. Damage is increased by 20% of the damage Centaur Warrior took in the last 6 seconds from enemy heroes up to a maximum of 100 bonus doubled edge damage. Damage counter resets on double edge casts. Centaur Warrior Runner gains 40% of his strength as bonus movement speed. Max movement speed cap increased from 5 to 50 to 600. This guy sucks. Cooldown increased from 90 to 195 90. Now grants vulnerability to the mounted target and no longer ends when blinking or teleporting. That's pretty cool, but other than that, you're useless. Whenever illusions of Chaos Knight are created, there's a 50% chance that an additional one illusion will spawn. Wow. All illusions created by or of Chaos Knight are strong illusions. This includes phantasm, illusions of allies created with Aghanim's Scepter, items, illusion rune, and illusions of Chaos Knight by other players, both allied and enemy, i.e. by Shadow Demon. Additionally, Chaos Knight's illusions within 1200 radius have 20% damage reduction. Okay, so that's an Omega buff. Adds an equal chance to apply either break or disarm or nothing on the targeted enemy. This debuff lasts for 50% of the armor reduction duration. Chaos Bolt. Max damage increase from 150, 210, 270, 330 to 150, 230, 310, 390. Aghanim Shard no longer increases cast range by 150. Aghanim Shard illusions deal 30% less damage. Reality Rift, cast point improved from 0.3 to 0.25. Phantasm, illusions from this ability are no longer strong illusions by default because of facet. Below 15 talent, minus 100% phantom illusion, incoming damage replaced with plus 12 strength. What the f? That's Garbo. Chen, summon convert, new innate ability, active, levels up with holy persuasion, and improves with Chen's level. Chen summons a convert to fight for him. The convert gains bonuses from Holy Persuasion with the exception of health, which is set to 200 plus 80x Chen's level. Only one convert can be summoned at a time, and it dies if Chen dies. Mana cost 50, cooldown 30, cooldown starts once the convert dies, and automatically refreshes on Chen's respawn. Which creature is summoned is dependent on the chosen facet. So there's all his facets. I'm going to go ahead and read through them. I'm going to try and get through it quickly, though, because nobody plays Chen. Centaur Convert. Chen's Convert is a Centaur's creep. Summon unit depends on the level of Holy Persuasion. Centaur Corsair level 0 to 2, or Centaur Conqueror level 3 to 4. Centaur Wolf Convert. Chen's Convert is a Wolf creep. Summon unit depends on the level of Holy Persuasion. Giant Wolf is level 2. Alpha Wolf level 3 to 4. Hellbear Convert. Convert is a creep. Hellbear creep. Summon unit depends on levels of Holy Persuasion. Hellbear level 0 to 2. Hellbear Smasher 0 3 or 3 to 4. Troll Convert. Chen's Convert is a troll creep. Summon unit depends on the level of Holy Persuasion. Hill Troll level 0 to 3 or Dark Troll 4. Satyr Convert. Chen's Convert is a Satyr creep. Summoned unit depends on the level of Holy Persuasion. Satyr Mind Stealer level 0 to 3. Tormentor level 4. Alright, and then changes to his spells. No longer has a minimum health threshold. Now Dominant Creep's health is set to 400 times 50's Chen's level. 50 times Chen's level. Bonus damage decreased from 4, 10, 16, 22 to 2, 7, 11. Wow, Jesus. Move speed bonus decreased from 10, 20, 30, 40 to 5, 10, 20, 30. Gold bounty for Dominating Creep decreased from 100 to 25, 50, 75, 100. Aghanim's Scepter Martyrdom ability now is a global cast range. Divine Favor, armor bonus rescaled from 9, 12, 15, 18 to 5, 10, 15, 20. Active Heal Amplification now also affects health regen. Healing regen amplification decreased from 20 to 5, 10, 15, 20. Now upgradable by Scepter, makes health regen aura global. And then Hand of God heals over time, duration increased from 8 to 10. Clink's Bone and Arrow, new innate ability. Passive, can't be leveled up, obviously. Clink's Death and some of his abilities can summon immobile skeleton archers to attack. Skeletons deal a percentage of Clink's attack damage and have his attack range, but deal reduced damage to buildings. Skeletons have a duration of 15, 20, 25, 30, and die after multiple attacks. Okay. His facets are, oh, he got Strafe back. Okay. Enemies, well, he had Strafe back, but I mean, now it's a facet. Wait. Yeah. Enemies hit by attacks from Strafe get a debuff that causes them to miss 5% of their attacks. Debuffs stack when applied from different sources, i.e. Clinks and an individual skeleton. Stacks expire 1 second after the Strafe duration is concluded. Miss applies to buildings as well. Oh, wow. Wow, that's really OP. You just solo push a lot. Attack range bonus increased from 2 to 3. Wow. Casting Dark Pack makes Clinks take the place of the consumed unit while leaving a skeleton archer in his previous position. Also reduces tech back. Wait, what? It's just like a little blinky thing. It's like a troll thing. What the heck? Strafe attacks you multiplier for skeletons rescaled from 55, 60, 65 to just 60. Mana cost decreased from 75, 80, 85, 90 to 60, 70, 80, 90. Wow, okay. Cast range decreased from 900 to 700 on that pack. Because they want you to do this, I get it. Alright, Clockwork. Armor power. Outgoing damage is increased by 0.3 per point of armor. What? Hook up. If the hook hits an ally to pull into, cooldown is reduced by 75%. Stun damage radius is increased from 175 to 300. Huh. Oh, okay. So if you mess up, it, like, fixes it. It's for your... This is if you got bad teammates, usually. Cogs are formed in a radius increased by 115. Cogs have a smaller trigger radius, but they can affect enemies inside, pushing them towards the center. Oh, what? Crazy. No longer provide a magic damage barrier to allies. Power cogs are not destroyed by its attacks and are pushed instead, up to, what the? Now destroys trees inside the cogs when cast. What the? How weird. So you just run around with your cogs? Like every time you hit them, it's just... Pinball. Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden has 50% mana regen amp. Okay, so just amps what she already has. Cold Comfort. Oh, wait. Frozen Expanse. Increase Crystal Maiden's cast range by 125 at max and provides 7, 8, 9, 10 AoE bonus. Cold Comfort. Arcane Aura. Every time Crystal Maiden casts a spell, allied heroes within Aura's close radius receive 10, 15, 20, 25% of mana spent. Oh, so she doesn't have an aura anymore. CM kind of sucks. No longer has bonus duration on non-ancient creeps. Now deals 4x damage to non-ancient creeps. Tick interval to increase from 2 to 2.5. No longer grants armor. Attack speed slow increase from 60 to 160. Oh, wow. So when you ult, people cannot kill you. Now can be aimed where Crystal Maiden will slide. You can put it where you go. That's a lot better than the random shit it did. Darkseer. Darkseer's intelligence cannot be lower than either his strength or agility. If any of these attributes are higher, he gains intelligence to match them. Oh, wow. Darkseer gains 0.5 attack speed for a point of intelligence. Base movement speed decreased to 275. Darkseer gains 8% of the movement speed of all heroes within 900 radius. 8%? So what is that? Like, if you have 400, it's 40 is 10%. So then it would be 32. So I'd gain 32 move speed from that person. That's okay. What a weird facet. It's like you didn't know what to do. Surge. Aghanim Shard. Damage per second from trail increased from 35 to 40. Ion Shell cast point improved from 0.4 to 0.2. Level 10 talent. Ion Shell radius increased from plus 50 to plus 65. Alright. Dark Willow. Pixie Dust. Whatever. Whenever a hero ability makes Dark Willow untargetable or hidden, she gains plus 100% health regen and plus 100% mana regen while in that state. Throwing Shade. Shadow Realm. While in Shadow Realm, Dark Willow emits a 600 radius aura that increases damage that she deals to enemies affected by it by up to 25%. Damage scales based on how long she remains under the effects of Shadow Realm. Thorny Thicket creates 4 additional brambles on the outer ring that last 50% less. Enemies rooted by any bramble take 10% more spell damage. Oh, wow. Curse Crown, backswing improved from 0.8 to 0.4. Wow, okay. Cooldown decreased from 18, 16, 14, 12 to 17, 15, 13, 11. 1 second. Radius increased from 400 to 400, 450, 500. Level 15 talent Curse Crown AoE decreased from plus 160 to plus 150. Level 25 talent plus 100 attack speed replaced with 500 terrorize impact damage. Right. That's kind of crazy, but I don't really see it being that viable for turbo. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm just horribly wrong. Dawnbreaker. Break of Dawn. Whenever the sun rises, Dawnbreaker gradually reveals the entire map to allies over 4 seconds. Fog of War returns in 1 second after that. What is that? So for 4 seconds, you get to see the whole map. Weird. Luminosity. Whenever Dawnbreaker hits a target with a powered-up luminosity, she decreases cooldowns of all of her abilities, non-items, by 1 second. When the hammer is on the ground, it emits a weaker pulsing effect of Solar Guardian and a 200 AoE around it. Its efficiency is reduced by 50%, increases duration that the hammer can remain stationary to 4 seconds. Okay, so like, that's whatever. A little mini ult. Fix the bug that prevented swipe damage from being applied to creeps. Healing now affects Dawnbreaker herself if she's in the target area of effect. Can now be cast when Celestial Hammer is out, forcing the hammer to return when the spell's cast. Okay. Alright, Dazzle. Weave. Dazzle abilities apply weave to both allies and enemies they affect, increasing allied armor and reducing enemy armor. Multiple instances of this effect stack. Stack duration 8 seconds, armor change per stack 1. Each stack has independent duration. Facets. Snuffle Boon. Whenever Dazzle overheals himself or an ally, it grants that hero a physical damage barrier equal to the amount overhealed for 10 seconds. If the target already has a larger barrier from Snuffle Boon, it will be refreshed instead of being added onto. Poison Bloom. Poison Touch. Every 4 times Dazzle attacks a target affected by Poison Touch, the target takes a burst of 25, 50, 75, 100 additional damage, and prompts additional Poison Touch projectiles to fire at enemies within 450 AoE. Wow. The amount of additional units affected is equal to the Poison Touch number of targets. Wow, okay, so it just keeps popping. But then unless you hit him, it doesn't keep going, so I guess it doesn't matter too much. Bad Juju no longer applies armor gain loss on its own. Yeah, because it's a 25 talent is plus 0.5 bad juju armor reduction increase replaced with plus 1 weave. Ooh, so an extra armor, but that's at 25. Death Prophet, Witchcraft. Get away from me, Nat. Death Prophet's occult knowledge deepens with experience, gaining 0.5 movement speed per level and reducing cooldown of abilities by 0.5 per level. Facets. Suppress. Silence applies movement slow to affected units by 10 to 25. Spirit Collector. Whenever a hero dies, Death Prophet traps their spirit as a charge for later use. This affects both allies and enemies within a 2000 range. Can be disabled by break to prevent Death Prophet from gaining charges. Casting Exorcism consumes all Spell Collector charges to replace 1 standard spirit per charge with spirits of fallen heroes that deal 75, 80, 88, 93, 101, 106 damage. If any hero is killed during Exorcism, their spirit will instantly replace a standard spirit if possible. Otherwise, no charge is gained. Jesus, man, there's so much reading involved in this patch. Silence no longer slows movement speed by default. Exorcism no longer grants passive movement speed. 10 talent plus 30 damage replaced with plus 40 attack speed. 15 talent health decrease from 300 to 250. 20 talent spirit siphon damage heal decrease from 30 to 25. 20 talent 15 silence move speed replaced with plus 50 crypt swarm damage. Right, Disruptor. Whenever Disruptor takes more than 250 damage from enemies within 400 range, all nearby units are pushed to a 400 unit distance from Disruptor. Cooldown 4 seconds. Damage counter resets within 7. Thunderstorm. Strikes all enemies within kinetic field with a Thunder Strike, I think. Replaces kinetic field with a new ability, Kinetic Fence. Kinetic Fence is spell is vector targeted, creates a single flat wall with a width of 1200. The wall is created after a 0.75 formation delay and has a duration of 2.6, 3.2, 3.8, 4.4. Has 2 charges with 20, 18, 16, 14 base charge restore time. 10 talent minus 3 seconds kinetic fence charge restore time, and level 20 talent is plus 2 kinetic fence duration. Wow. Weird. Like Darkseer walls you can't go through, I guess. Thunderstrike no longer has any kinetic field interactions by default. Aghanim Shard bonus range decreased from 800 to 400. Ugh. Aghanim Shard bonus strikes decreased from 2 to 1. Aghanim Shard duration on the ground decreased from 7 to 5. Wow, major nerf. Max damage rescaled from 125 to 275 to 100 to 280. Cooldown increased from 20 to 11 from 20 to 14. And level 25 talent static storm radius decreased from 200 to plus 150. Doom. Level question mark pain. Doom deals 10% bonus attack damage to enemies whose level is lower than his. Place 70-second cooldown with 2 charge. Replace the 70-second cooldown with 2 charges with 90-second restore time. Stolen creep abilities are upgraded by 1 level. Devil's Bargain. Items sell back for 90% of their price, but buyback costs 50% more. That's kind of weird. Allows you to switch up items a lot, but weird. In Turbo, that'd be kind of funny, because you could just swap up items all the time. No longer grants 1357 armor. Scorched Earth, cooldown increased from 35 to 41, 39, 37, 35. Talents, 10 talent. Scorched Earth damage decreased by 2. Level 15, Scorched Earth movement speed decreased by 2. Level 20, Infernal Blade max HP as damage increased by 0.5. Dragon Knight has Dragon Blood as an innate ability. Provides Dragon Knight with 4.5 health regen and 2.5 armor, which are further increased by 0.5 with every level. Health regen and armor bonuses are multiplied by 1.5 while in dragon form. Nice. Okay. Facets. Oh, Jesus. Fire Dragon. Worm's Wrath, while in human form, attacks have 20, 30, 40, 50% cleave with 450 range. Elder Dragon form, while in dragon form, cleave increases by another 20, 30, 40, 50, and turns into splash damage to all enemies within 350 range from the attack target. Okay, Corrosive Dragon. Worm's Wrath, while in human form, attacks apply poison to the target. It deals 10 to 25 damage per second and reduces target's armor by 1 to 4. Poison also affects buildings. Elder Dragon form. While in dragon form, poison damage and armor reduction are increased by up to 60%. It's applied to all enemies within 350 range from the attack. Now, Frost Dragon. While in human form, attacks apply frost to the target. It reduces enemies' movement speed and attack speed by up to 35, and all health they restore by up to 35. Frost doesn't affect buildings. While in Dragon, the reductions are increased by up to 60%, and it is applied to all enemies within 350. So I don't know why you wouldn't pick that. That's regen. That's just win. You just win. I guess if you were against a super armor-heavy team, but that don't happen very often. It's just an AC you gotta cut through. Alright, Breathe Fire. No longer applies Dragon's attack effects. Worm's Wrath provides and improves attack modifiers of the chosen facet for both human and dragon forms. Illusions can't apply Worm's Wrath attack modifiers. Now upgradable with Aghanim Scepter. Improves attack modifiers of the chosen facet. Elder Dragon form. No longer changes the dragon type with each level. Now the dragon form depends on a chosen hero facet. Now increases attack damage by 20 to 100. Scepter Black Dragon form no longer increases resistance to magic. Innate ability for Drow Ranger is Precision Aura. Same, it looks like the same thing. Yeah, same thing. Facet is Vantage Point. Drow Ranger deals 20% more damage from with attacks from high ground. And Sidestep. Multi-shot. Drow Ranger can use items and move during multi-shot with a 40% movement speed penalty while aiming at the initial target direction. Huh. So she can attack you. Oh no, use items and move, so she can't actually attack? That's weird. Frost Arrows. Movement speed slow decrease from 10 to 55, from 10 to 40. Gust no longer grants bonus move speed. Multi-shot no longer has bonus slow duration, and instead applies the normal Frost Arrow duration. Marksmanship, bonus agility for allies, move to an innate ability. Talents, level 10 talent. I don't know, I'm losing my mind having to read all these. Plus 15% Gust's self-movement speed was replaced with minus 3 seconds Gust cooldown. 20 talent, minus 4 Gust cooldown, replaced with 40% Gust self-movement speed. Oh, 40%. Jesus. Level 25 talent, marksmanship chance decreased from 10 to 12 to 10. Earth Spirit, innate ability is Stone Remnant. Same thing. Facets are Resonance. Stone Remnants have a duration of 60 seconds, have 7 charges with an additional 1+ max charge, gained every 5 levels, restore time 18 seconds, mana cost 0. Each magnetized Stone Remnant gives Earth Spirit 40 to 120 bonus attack damage, does not stack. Stepping Stone. Stone Remnants have a duration of 20 seconds, do not use charges, instead has a cooldown of 4 seconds. Rolling Boulder no longer destroys remnants. Weird, so he becomes like a powerhouse if he knows what he's doing. Geomantic Grip. Remnant damage increased from 50, 100, 150, 200 to 50, 125, 200, 275. Cast range rescaled from 1100 to 1000 to 1300. Magnetize. Remnant refresh explosion radius increased from 400 to 600. Level 20 talent Geomagnetic Grip. Cooldown reduction increased from 2 to 3. Alright, Earthshaker. Alright, for my homie Z, if you're watching this, I'm going to go over this one for you. And if I need to explain anything, I doubt I need to explain anything. But it's a hero you love, so I'll take my time on this one. Earthshaker's innate ability is Aftershock. It's the same ability as before, but the damage has been rescaled from 70, 100, 130, 160 to 35, 70, 100, 130, 160. So basically broken into 5 instead of 4. Stun duration rescaled from 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3 to 0.5 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3. 0.5 is horrible. What is that? That's a humongous yikes. Facets, tectonic buildup, aftershock, radius increased by 50 with every 10 hero levels. 150 increased radius at 30, not bad. Slugger, this one's probably going to be the one my homie gets. Enchant totem, killing an enemy with an empowered attack will send their body flying 1200 units at 1600 speed, dealing 5% of the killed unit's max health as damage to all enemies it passes through. This damage is increased by 50, 80, 110, 140 if the killed unit is a creep, and 150, 250, 350, 450 if it was a hero. All right, we're going to play that, and we're going to test that out, and we're going to make a video on it. 100%, because that sounds hilarious. Level 25 talent plus 200 aftershock range replaced with minus 50% echo slam cooldown. Pretty gnarly. Pretty gnarly, but this is ridiculous. I'm going to do high strength, high crit. Oh, I got a video. Got a video coming, but I might stream it, actually. If I stream it, there probably won't be a video on it, because for some reason, when I try to get the videos from stream, they're in horrible quality. But everybody says they look great when they watch them. So, moving on. Elder Titan. Innate ability is Astral Spirit. It's the same, but everything's going to be broken into 5. I am not going to read that. Deconstruction. Natural Order. Every second an enemy hero stays under the effect of the aura, they lose an additional 1 armor and 1% magic resistance, stacks up to 20 times. Wait, what? So early level, I'm one-hitting someone. Like, whop! Momentum. Elder Titan's attack speed is decreased by 75, but he receives 20% of his movement speed as bonus attack speed. Dude, early game, you could not last at anything. What is that? Unless you went first item boots. I don't know about all that. Alright, Ember Spirit. Flame Guard now is an innate ability. Alright, not going through the changes. Double Impact, Sleight of Fist. When connecting with 2 or more enemies, the enemy closest to Ember Spirit will be attacked a second time with damage reduced by 40% at the end of the Sleight of Fist. Not bad. Chain Gang. Searing Chains. When Searing Chains are cast, they are also cast around each Fire Remnant. A target will not be hit by chains from multiple sources at once. Unit count increased from 3 to 4. Wow. Huh. Sleight of Fist. Cooldown decreased from 15 to 6 to 12 to 6. Wow, okay. Ember seems viable. Well, he was always viable if you're good at him, but yeah, I'm not very good at him. Level 15 talent, plus 50 Flame Guard DPS, replaced with plus 100% Flame Guard DPS. Level 20 talent, plus 1 Searing Chains target, replaced with plus 60 Searing Chains damage. Yeah, he's buff. Like it. Enchantress. Innate ability is Force Freebie. Whenever Enchantress is about to receive a neutral item token from a neutral creep, she gets 1 more if available. Overprotective Wisps. Oh my god, that's the worst. That's the worst thing I've ever seen. Oh man. Alright, moving on. Overprotective Wisps. Nature's Attendants. Whenever Enchantress takes more than 250 damage from enemy heroes, 1 Wisp appears to heal her for 4 seconds. Can have more than 4 Overprotective Wisps at a time. Spellbound. Enchant. Enchantress gains 50, 100, 150, 200 additional attack range when attacking enchanted enemy heroes. Cast range increased from 500, 550, 600, 650 to 550, 650, 750, 850. 850? But that doesn't even matter. The skill kinda suck. No longer deals damage per second to heroes. Enchantress received 50% of the experience bounty with Enchanted Creep. Enchanting a neutral creep is now guaranteed to drop a neutral token if it's available. That's pretty cool. Creep bonus health decreased from 200 to 500, from 150 to 450, so a loss of 50. 15 talent, plus 5 wisps, replaced with plus 8 a heal. Plus 30% Enchanted Creep health damage replaced with plus 50, plus 25 damage from Enchanted Creeps, and it gives them 150 health. 25 talent, plus 20 Nature's Attendant heal, replaced with plus 12 Nature's Attendant wisps. Wow. Alright, going on to Enigma. Innate ability, Gravity Well. Allies near Enigma have an incoming damage reduction buff that gradually increases with proximity to Enigma. Effect starts with 0% at 500 distance and increases up to 15 at 200. Oh, well, if I play Enigma and my wife's playing, she likes to be really close to me to make sure that, like, I protect her, but also so she can protect me. And maybe playing Enigma's just gonna help us both now. Enemies in a 600 radius have a 15% move speed slow while moving away from Enigma. That's funny. Whenever Enigma takes more than 350 damage from any source, he spawns an Eidolon. These Eidolons have 50% reduced gold and experience bounty. Damage counter resets after 7 seconds. Probably do that one just for a free pet, because this one seems kind of weird. It's okay, but I don't know. Mana cost increased from 50 to 140 to 65 to 140 for Midnight Pulse. Black Hole, Aghanim Scepter, max HP as damage increased from 3.5 to 4. Yes. Level 15 talent Malefice instance damage increased from 35 to 40. Nice. 25 talent Demonic Summoning Eidolons decreased from 5 to 4. Alright, Faceless Void. Innate ability is Distortion Field. Enemy attack projectiles are slowed when they fly near Faceless Void. Affects projectiles even if Faceless Void isn't the target. Projectiles slow up to 40%. Okay. Facets. Time Walk. Faceless Void is guaranteed to backtrack any damage for 1 second after casting Time Walk as well. Okay. Time Zone. Replaces Chronosphere with a new ability Time Zone. Creates a blister in space-time, altering the movement, attack, cast, projectile, and turn rate speed of all units inside. Allies have increased speed, and enemies have decreased speed. Doesn't pierce, debuff immunity. Attack speed manipulation is 50 to 150, move speed is 50 to 70%, and cast speed manipulation is 40 to 60%. Turn speed is up to 50, projectile speed manipulation up to 50. Radius 800, duration 5 to 6 seconds, mana cost up to 300 with a really long cooldown. What? Why would you do that? If it doesn't pierce debuff immunity, then they just walk out of it and you wasted everything, correct? And they can even hit it after you do it. Why would you ever do this? Why would you ever do this unless you're working with someone else and you're more support? Because that is better for team setups for your team. Because you can't screw anybody over. But whatever. Time dilation. Mana cost increased from 75, 80, 85, 90 to just 90. Grimstroke. Innate ability is Ink Trail. And that is adds an effect to Grimstroke's attacks that causes enemy heroes to leave a trail of ink behind them for 4 seconds, gaining vision over them, but not over their surroundings. Oh, okay. Facets are Inkstigate. Is Inkswell adds a new ink explosion sub-ability, allowing Grimstroke to manually trigger Inkswell. Buff duration is 4 seconds. And then Fine Art makes ability vector targeted. Stroke of Fate, my bad. Makes ability vector targeted to curve Ink's pass trajectory. Increases bonus damage per target from 20 to 50 to 20 to 65. Stroke of Fate now applies Ink Trail effect on hit. The Phantom is no longer disjointable while returning to Grimstroke. Ink Swell, buff duration decreased from 5 to 3, no longer can be manually triggered by default. 20 talent plus 1,000 range, replaced with plus 75% damage. Plus 75% damage at 25 was replaced with plus 70% Stroke of Fate speed and travel range. Undodgeable. Gyrocopter. Innate ability is Chop Shop. Gyrocopter can disassemble most items at all times and sells any recipes he has for a full cost. Oh, so he's a better version of the 90% Doom. Secondary strikes decreases strike interval to 0.8 if an interval to 0.8. If an enemy hero gets hit, another call-down missile is called that tracks the target, has a 200 impact radius centered around them, and deals 50% of the damage. Each hero may have only one tracking missile per cast, and then Afterburner is Rocket Barrage. Every successful hit increases Gyrocopter's movement speed by up to 4 for 4 seconds. Each hit refreshes the duration. Barrage no longer grants slow resistance. Level 10 talent is plus 30 movement speed, was replaced with plus 25% homing missile. Level 25 talent minus 30 seconds, cooldown no longer grants global cast range. Alright, Hoodwink. Innate ability. Passively has up to 30% chance to redirect attacks into a tree within 275 units, destroying it. Facets are Go Nuts. While Scurry is active, Hoodwink gains up to 200 attack and cast range. Wow, that's kind of ridiculous. That's like really ridiculous. Tree Bounce, Trick Shot. If there are no available targets to bounce, Acorn Shot will look for a tree within its search radius instead. Bouncing off of a tree sets the remaining number of bounces to 1. No longer provides evasion near trees, scurry, and no longer increases attack and cast range by default because it is a innate ability. Or facet, my bad. Talents. 10 talent plus 40% scurry evasion when active, replaced with plus 1 second scurry duration. Level 25 talent plus 135 bushwhack radius, replaced with sharpshooter pierces debuff immunity. Ooh, that's really cool. Not good for people who go against her, but cool for Hoodwink players, I guess. Huskar. Innate ability is blood magic. Huskar doesn't have mana. Mana cost of items and abilities are converted into health costs, which are considered as magical damage and can be reduced with magical resistance. Facets, Bloodbath, Life Break. Spills Huskar's blood in 500 units around the target, applying its movement and attack speed slow to all enemies. Nothul Transfusion, Life Break. Heals all Huskar's allied units within 400 units from the target for 100% of the damage dealt to the target hero. Ooh, that's pretty good. It's really good, actually. Inner Fire. No longer disarms enemies, now silences enemies for up to 3 seconds. Mana cost replaced with a health cost, though, and cast point increased from 0.2 to 0.5. Burning Spear health cost increased to 4% of your health. Wow, that sucks. Berserker's Blood. Max magic resistance increased from 10 to 25 to 15 to 30, so up 5. Life Break. Magic resistance during the leap increased from 50 to 60. Level 25 talent Burning Spears deals pure damage, replaced with plus 6 seconds Burning Spear duration. Wow, that sucks. That duration would suck, but I guess that's level 25, not too big of a deal. You're probably already gone. Invoker, innate ability. When Invoker denies a lane creep, he gets 15% of that experience. That's kind of OP. Facets, agnostic. Leveling up orbs provides Invoker with passive bonuses. Active orbs grant no additional effects. So Quaz passively adds a debuff to his attacks that deal up to 21 damage per second. Wex gives him attack speed. Exhort gives him attack damage. And level 25 talent is 2 times the effects of those. And then there's Elitist, which is the same type of thing, but probably does different things. Quas gives him up to 14 lifesteal. Wex gives him up to 4.2 movement speed per orb. And Exhort gives him makes Invoker's attacks apply a 4-second debuff that increases spell damage that the animal take and that the enemy takes by up to 8%. Level 25 talent is 2x Quas effects. Quas, Wex, Exhort effects, my bad. Wex. I'm gonna have to take a second break after this because I'm getting all jarbled. Wex. Oh man, I'm not doing all this. This is insanity. That's just a bunch of cooldown decreases. So cooldowns are decreased like all around the board for a bunch of stuff. Io. Innate ability is Io's team takes 1 less second to channel Watchers. When Watchers are under their control, its vision radius is increased by 300. Holy cow. Facet. Chris Krieg. Overcharge grants up to 110 attack speed and 14% spell amp. Medigun. Overcharge grants up to 12 armor and up to 25% magic resist. Wow, okay. Heather. Damage per second increased from 10 to 40 to 15 to 45. Enemy move attack slow decrease from 15 to 45 to 10 to 40. Spirits. Creep collision damage increase from 10 to 25 to 12 to 30. And then talents are 10 talent. Attack damage to tethered units decreased to 12. 15. Tether movement speed decreased to 5. Level 15, Spirit Hero damage increased to 60. Level 20, Talent Relocate cooldown reduction increased to 30 seconds. Level 25, Talent Attack Tethered Allies target now applies a 25% damage penalty on Io's attacks. Jakiro, Double Trouble. Jakiro's attack launches 2 projectiles at the target with 0.2 second interval, but each deals 50% less damage. One of these attacks ignores melee hero's default damage block. This penalty affects bonus damage as well. Facets. Liquid Fire. Liquid Fire is Jakiro's 3rd basic ability when the facet is picked. Oh, okay. 3rd basic ability. Oh, so it's like the same thing. Oh man, what's been changed? Makes a flaming attack which burns all enemies around the target, dealing damage over time and reducing their attack speed. Cooldown was decreased to 4 seconds. From 16, 12, 8 to 4 to 13, 10, 7, 4. Shard now deals 2.5% of targets max HP to each tick of damage. Doesn't affect buildings. Liquid Frost. Ability reworked. Jakiro makes a freezing attack, which deals up to 50 bonus damage and applies a chilling effect for 4 seconds. Movement speed slowed by up to 30%, and they take 25 bonus damage from Jakiro's attacks and abilities. This effect does not apply to buildings, and the shard does the same thing with the health per second. Dual breath cast range increased to 850. Ice path cast range decreased to 1100. Formation delay decreased from 0.5 to 0.2. Width decreased on Macropyre from 520 to 500. Mana cost increased from 230 to 450 to 300 to 500. Cooldown increased from 80 to 60 to 90 to 70. Wow, that's rough. Talents, 15 talent plus 325 health, replaced with minus 1.5 second ice path cooldown. Level 20 talent Macropyre damage decreased from 25 to 20. Juggernaut. Innate ability is Duelist. Deals 10% more damage to targets that are facing him. Damage bonus is always applied during Omni. Facet Blade Storm. Blade Fury can deal crit damage with the same stats as of Blade Dance. Blade Form. Gain a stack of Blade Form every 2 seconds up to a max of 10. Each stack grants a 3% base agility bonus and 1% move speed bonus. Stacks are reset upon taking any damage after a 3-second linger. That's Garbo. Blade Fury now applies a strong dispel when it ends. Ooh, Jug. Yes. Blade Dance. Critical chance increased from 20 to 35 to just 35. Wow. Crit damage decreased from 190 to 130 to 190, so you get more damage as you level it up. It's not worth it to level it up until later now, so they want you to get your heal. Omni Slash. Bonus damage decreased from 40 to 50 to 30 to 40. Doesn't matter. He's strong. Keeper of the Light. Innate ability is Mana Magnifier. Allies within 900 range of Keeper of the Light have 15% more max mana. Solar Bind is one of his facets, granted by Spirit Form. Magic Resist Reduction rescaled to 40%. Aghanim Shard replaces cooldown with 2 charges. Cast Backswing improved. Recall is his other facet, and it seems to be the same thing that it used to be, where it just picks you and takes you to him. If the teleportation was successful, both Keeper of the Light and the targets will receive this buff once again. Movement speed buff isn't removed if the teleportation was interrupted by taking player-based damage. Can now be alt-cast to teleport Keeper to the selected target. In this case, Keeper of the Light will get the initial movement speed boost. Teleportation is interrupted if Keeper of the Light takes player-based damage. And then Shard replaces cooldown with 2 charges instead. Spirit Form. Shard now increases Spirit Form Illuminate heal by 30%. Will-O-Wisp. Mana cost decreased from 250 to 150. Wow. Level 15 talent, 2 charges, replaced with minus 5 seconds Blinding Light cooldown. Level 20 talent, plus 1.5 Solar Blind stun. When target is fully slowed, replaced with plus 200 Chakra Magic mana. Hoomka. Innate ability is Tidebringer, which is his passive that it used to be. His splash. Facets, High Tide. Cooldown is reduced by 0.8 seconds per hero hit for his Tidebringer. Or Grog Blossom. Whenever a unit is returned with X marks, Ghost Ship's rum is splashed on allies within a 400 radius around the return unit. Rum lasts 3 seconds. Dang, that's pretty OP. Torrent. Stun duration decreased from 1.6 to 1.4. X marks the spot. Enemy delay decreased from 4 to 3. Allied delay decreased from 8 to 6. Aww, nerf. Talent. 15 talent torrent damage knockup decreased to 20%. 15 talent plus 45 damage replaced with plus 60 Tidebringer damage. Woo, that's not bad, but kind of a nerf because the splash made that better, didn't it? Or, I don't know, does crit affect that? 20 talent plus 70% cleave replaced with plus 50% rum damage delay. Level 25 talent minus 2 second cooldown replaced with plus 100% Tidebringer cleave damage. Alright, so let's look at Legion. Innate ability is Moment of Courage, which was her old passive. Facets are Stone Hall Plate. Grants Legion Compactor? Grants Legion Commander an all damage barrier equal to 100% of the damage dealt to enemy heroes. Barrier duration is 8 seconds. That's pretty strong. Duel. When a duel is won, any unit that damaged the loser during the duel will permanently gain up to 12 bonus damage. Any unit that damaged the loser. Ooh. Ooh, I like that one. Overwhelming odds. Base damage increased from 125 to 130. Damage per hero increased from 125 to 130. No longer deals 25% bonus damage to illusions. Duration increased to 6 seconds and cooldown increased to 18. Duel. Scepter no longer provides dual damage reduction. Now provides Legion Commander with debuff immunity for the duration of the duel. Duration with Aghanim Scepter increased from 5.5 to 7.5 to 6.25 to 7.5. Talents level 10 talent press the attack movement speed increased from 8 to 10. Well, I was about to say 140 because I'm mixing up everything. Level 15 talent press the attack HP regen increased to 40. 20 talent press the attack increased to 300, the AoE. Level 25 talent moment of courage lifesteal increased from 50 to 75. Ooh, my boy Leshrac, Rainbow Reindeer. Innate ability Defilement. Area of effect for Leshrac's spells increases by 0.5 for each point of intelligence. Oh my goodness. That's gonna be insanity. Leshrac's attacks restore mana equal to up to 22% of the damage dealt. Improves with Pulse Nova's level. Only restores mana when attacking units that have mana. Has 40 explosions that are applied over 10 seconds and can damage buildings. Misanthropy. Diabolic Edict has 40 explosions that are applied over 7 seconds but can't damage buildings. Oh, so it does tons of damage but you can't push anymore. Okay. He's fun now. Split Earth, radius decreased from 240 to 210. Edict, radius decreased from 500 to 450. They're trying to make up for the int, making it insane, but it's not going to do anything. Lightning Storm, because you just have int all the time. Lightning Jump, radius decreased to 450. Radius decreased on his ult to 500. It's all just fixes because of his new innate, and you're still just going to stomp. 10 talent radius replaced with +4 armor. That sucks. 15 talent lightning storm damage decreased to 80. 20 talent damage decreased to 30. Level 25 talent edict explosions decreased to 20. But you still end up getting like just more overall, right? Because if I do just players, that's going to explode someone so fast with 65 explosions in 75 seconds. Yeah, GG. All right, Lich. Innate ability, Death Charge. Lich's max mana regeneration is 0. Whenever any unit dies nearby, Lich restores a portion of his max mana. Dying heroes restore a bigger portion. Works with deaths of both allies, enemies, and neutrals. Lich can regenerate mana only under effect of a fountain. He can't gain mana anymore. Wow. Max mana restored from a creep 2.5. Max mana restored from a hero 15. Wow, I think this is a big nerf. Chain Frost, Frostbound. If the orb fails to find a new target to bounce into, it instead circles the previous target, waiting up to 4.5 seconds for a target to come into range. This may happen multiple times per one cast. Oh wow, so unlimited really becomes unlimited. Grants an additional bounce to Chain Frost and extends the duration of Frost's shield when these abilities kill enemies. Killing a creep extends the duration by 1 second, while killing a hero extends it by 4. Killing a creep adds 1 bounce, while killing a hero adds 3 bounces to it. And it didn't say anything about him having infinite bounces, so that talent's still there. So this one is broken. Frost Blast, cast backswing, improved from 0.9 to 0.4. Frost Shield, improved to 0.4. Sinister Gaze no longer requires Ag Scepter to use abilities while casting. Sorry, I had to get a nat. Life Stealer, innate ability is now Feast. Okay. Facets are Corpse Eater. Permanently gains +2 max health per unit killed. Wait, what? Unfettered replaces rage with a new ability, Unfettered. Lifestealer descends into a violent fury, gaining 50% magic resistance and 50% status resistance. Applies strong dispel and can be cast while disabled. Duration is 6 seconds, up to 6 seconds, with a mana cost of 140 with a 17-second cooldown. And a 25 talent is plus 1.5 seconds to the duration. Rage no longer grants movement speed when it's activated. Mana cost rescaled from 75 to 150 to 80 to 140. Open Wounds is now a basic ability again. Okay, Ghoul Frenzy no longer applies a slow, now passively grants movement speed to Lifestealer, and bonus attack speed has been increased up to 90. Infest is upgradable by Aghanim Shard, and Explosion applies a 50% duration open wounds to all damaged enemies. Level 10 talent plus 12% rage movement speed replaced with plus 3% Ghoul Frenzy movement speed. Level 15 talent plus 30 damage replaced with 50 Ghoul Frenzy attack speed. Level 15 talent 350 health replaced with plus 15% open wound slow. Level 20 talent plus 15% Ghoul Frenzy slow replaced with plus 25% open wounds lifesteal. All right. Lena. Innate ability is Fiery Soul now. It's fly in my room and it's driving me insane. Thermal Runaway is a facet. Supercharges Lena after using Laguna Blade, giving her 12 Fiery Soul stacks for 5 seconds. Slow burn. Impact damage from Lena's abilities is decreased to 60%, but each ability applies a stackable 3-second debuff that deals burn damage every second, which sums up into 65% of the original ability damage. Dragon Slave no longer applies damage over time by default. Damage increased from 300 to 325. Mana cost decreased from 145 to 130. Cast point improved from 0.45 to 0.35. Laguna Blade no longer supercharges Lena by default. Cast point improved from 0.45 to 0.3. Backswing improved from 0.7 to 0.4. Talents. 325 health replaced with 5% Fiery Soul magic resist per stack, 20 talent plus 5 Laguna Blade supercharged stacks replaced with minus 25 second cooldown. Level 25 talent, minus 25 second Laguna Blade cooldown replaced with 125% Laguna Blade damage into barrier. Lion. Innate ability to Hellenbeck. Lion gains 20% debuff duration and 20% spell amp for 90 seconds after respawning. Facets, Essence Eater deals damage equal to 100% of the mana stolen for mana drain or Fist of Death, Finger of Death. After casting Finger of Death, Lion switches from range to melee attacks with a fixed 250 range and gains 40 plus 30 damage per stack for 20 seconds. Enemies killed within 3 seconds of being punched will add Finger of Death stacks. Attacks during melee buff also have a 50% cleave damage with 650 distance. What? For 20 seconds? He just punches the crap out of you? What? What? Mana Drain no longer deals damage by default. 25 talent plus 100% Mana Drain damage replaced with plus 600 at Earthspike cast range and distance. Lone Druid innate ability is the Bear facet. Bear with me. Shared armor is increased by 25%. Lone Druid's attacks heal Spirit Bear as well as the other way around. Transforms Lone Druid, providing him with bonus armor, increased health, and improved versions of Entangling Claws and Demolish. Unbearable. Spirit Link causes the bear's attacks to heal Lone Druid, but not the other way around. True Form transforms the Spirit Bear, increasing its armor by 12, reducing its BAT by 0.1, and granting a 50% cooldown reduction on Entangling Claws. Talents, 20 talent plus 1,000 Spirit Bear and True Form HP, replaced with plus 30 Entangling Claw damage. 25 talent, 0 second Entangling Claws cooldown, replaced with plus 45 second, or plus 45 Spirit Link attack speed, excuse me. Level 25 talent, 0.1 Spirit Bear base attack time replaced with plus 150 Savage Roar radius. Luna. Innate ability is Selemene's Feather. Luna has 20% bonus cast range at night. Facets, Moonglaves while active reduce all damage by up to 25%. Moonstorm. Lucent Beam. Luna gains up to 14 attack damage bonus every time an enemy hero is hit by the beam. This includes Lucent Beams created by Eclipse, but those provide 50 less damage. Buff duration 15 seconds. Glaive's bounce decreased from 3456 to 2345. Now can be activated without shard. Damage on collision is 20% of Luna's attack. Glaive's count decreased from 4 to 3. Duration is unchanged. and mana cost increased and cooldown increased. Aghanim Shard now increases rotating glaive count by 1 and damage on collision by 20. Lunar Blessing. Night Vision increased from 250 to 400, 600, 800, 1000, so ends at the same. 10 talent. Mini Stun increased to 0.4. Level 15 talent cooldown reduction increased to 40. 15 talent minus 2 second cooldown replaced with plus 80 damage. Level 20 talent plus 100 beam damage replaced with minus 2 second cooldown. 25 talent, 25 mini stun replaced with lucent beam hits additional targets. Okay. Lycan, innate ability is Apex Predator. He deals 2% extra damage to neutral creeps per level. Facets, that's really lame. Pack Leader, movement and critical strike bonuses are also applied to all units under his control. Enemy heroes killed by Lycan or his units extend his duration by 5 seconds. That's OP. Spirit Wolves, summon wolves, replaces wolves with spirit wolves. They are invulnerable, uncontrollable, and cannot attack. Each wolf buffs Lycan, providing up to 200 health and 26 attack damage. Decreases duration to 25 and mana cost. Does not affect wolves from the shard. Level 10 talent, 10 wolf damage replaced with 8 damage per wolf. Level 15 talent of wolf's health replaced with plus 250 wolf health per wolf. So weird. Howl no longer fears non-hero controlled units. Shapeshift no longer applies its movement speed and critical strike bonuses to units under his control. Oh, that's nerf. Wolf Bite, lifesteal increased to 40. Lifesteal now is a 40% penalty against creeps, but cooldown decreased to 90. 10 talent Howl armor reduction increased to 3. 15 talent summon wolves increased to 350. Magnus, innate is solid core. He suffers 50% less force movement from enemy abilities or items. Oh, okay, so he only gets hooked halfway, is that what you're saying? Facets, run through. Skewer deals bonus damage when pushing enemies through trees and cliffs. Each tree deals up to 25 damage, and cliffs deal up to 100 damage. Oh, wow. So he, like, smacks him against the wall, basically. Bless you! Reverse polarity. Reverse polarity pushes enemies in a 600 AoE around Magnus away from him to a maximum distance of 700, stunning and damaging them. Enemies are pushed over 0.2 seconds. Oh god, that's going to ruin so many other ults. Shockwave. Slow duration rescaled from 0.9 to 7891. Projectile speed increased from 900 to 1200. Shard projectile speed bonus increased from 3 to 4. Empowered duration rescaled from 35 to 30, 33, 36, 39. Skewer no longer slows enemy attack speed by 10, 20, 30, 40. No longer deals 6, 9, 12, 15 of the distance's damage. Damage increased from 75 to 225 to 100 to 300 on reverse polarity. Horn Toss. Damage increased from 275 to 300. Mana cost decreased from 125 to 100. Marcy, innate ability is special delivery. Permanently increases the level of all allied couriers by 3 and hero attacks to kill by 1. This means Marcy's team starts with flying couriers. So does Marcy have nothing for turbo? Because we already have flying couriers for turbo. Whatever. Sidekick. Marcy's third basic ability when the facet is picked. Bonus damage change from flat 6, 12, 24, 48 to 12, 18, 24, 30% of base. Ooh, that's pretty good. That's actually really good. That's kind of crazy. Okay. Level 25 talent plus 65 damage replaced with plus 20%. Oh my god. So up to 50% of your... Oh my god. That's crazy. Bodyguard. New Marcy third ability if this facet is picked. Passively grants Marcy 25% lifesteal. Increases her attack damage by up to 30%. Can be activated to protect the targeted allied hero for 6 seconds. Whenever the ally attacks or is attacked by an enemy, Marcy attacks that enemy if they are within her attack range. The ally also gains up to 10 armor for the duration. The talent is changed from damage to plus 20% bodyguard damage. Dispose. Mana cost rescaled down to just 80 flat. Rebound no longer has a minimum jump distance. Unleash strikes per fury rescaled from 456 to just 5 all around. Level 15 talent dispose damage increased to 100. 20 talent unleash movement speed decreased to 12%. Level 25 talent plus 350 dispose throw distance replaced with unleash duration extended by 6 seconds for every kill. Alright, Mars. Innate ability is Dauntless. Mars and his allied heroes within 2,000 radius gain increase health regen when they are outnumbered by the enemy in the same area. Each extra enemy hero provides 25% bonus health regen. Facet, Victory Feast, Arena of Blood. If Mars is in the arena when an enemy dies inside of it, he heals 20% of his max health and max mana and gets a 20% attack damage buff for 15%. Blood Sport, Arena of Blood. Arena walls obscure vision, and enemies that are inside don't have the shared vision with their allies. That's kind of crazy. Bulwark, Scepter soldiers can no longer knock enemies out of leashes, such as Arena of Blood. And then, that's ridiculous. 15 talent, God's Rebuke, cooldown reduction decrease from 3 to 2. Level 20 talent, Bulwark front side damage reduction increase from 12.6 to 14.7. Medusa, innate ability no longer, her mana shield is an innate ability now. Facet, Engorged, Mystic Snake. Whenever a Mystic Snake returns to Medusa, her next 3 attacks deal additional 1 physical damage per 6 mana restored by the snake. The buff lasts up to a maximum of 5 seconds. Mana Pack can be activated, draining 4% of max mana per second, but increases attack speed by 3% of Medusa's attack speed per second. Mana drain can last up to 15 seconds, but attack speed will stop increasing after 10 seconds. Conversion can be stopped by deactivating Mana Shield, but it can't be done for the first 3 seconds of conversion. Attack speed buff will disappear after 15 seconds since the conversion has started. Zero down at 35 seconds. It starts when the conversion has stopped. Whew. Mystic Snake. Damage increase from 85 to 220 to 90 to 270. Wow. Damage increase per jump decreased from 35 to 25, though. Speed increase per jump increased from 15 to 25. Oh, so it bounces faster. Turn slow now is a part of the movement slow. It has no special value and is decreased from 50 to 30%. 10 talent, 15% Mystic Snake turn and movement slow replaced with plus 40 Mystic Snake damage, and level 25 talent plus 1.7 mana shield damage per mana increased to 1.9. Meepo, Sticky Fingers. Meepo receives an additional choice when activating neutral item tokens. Wow. That's kind of cool, but whatever. More Meepos for Facet. Divided We Stand. Increases maximum level from 3 to 4 and changes level requirement from 4.11.18 to 3.10.17.24. Oh, wow. So he gets a Meepo early. Meepo can equip any item in the neutral item slot with the exception of boots and items that are dropped on death. Meepo's clones gain full bonuses from the item with the exception of 3 primary attributes. When Meepo or a clone uses an item in the neutral slot, all other Meepos have this item go on cooldown, reduced by 50%. Weird. Earthbind, cast range rescaled from 500 to 1250 to 750 to 1200. Wow, huge range on level 1. Speed increased to 1200 as well. Wow, so it roots faster. 25 talent, Pack Rat replaced with 350 health. Mirana, Celemane's Faithful. Healing Lotuses are 20% more effective on Mirana and her allies. Facets, Moonlight Shadow. Mirana's ult is Moonlight Shadow when that facet is picked, but it can have a different one now. Solar Flare, new Mirana ult. The sun starts gradually increasing the attack speed and damage of Mirana by 8 to 16 per second, reaching maximum after 8 seconds. She also gains bonus daytime vision with the same gain per second multiplied by 3. Mirana's allied heroes also receive this buff, but bonuses are decreased by 50%. Duration 14, mana cost 125, cooldown down to 100. 15 talent, Moonlight Shadow gives plus 20% evasion, replaced with Solar Flare gives 20% evasion. Level 20 talent, minus 20 second Moonlight Shadow is replaced with minus 20 second Solar Flare cooldown. Sacred Arrow, Scepter, secondary Starstorm damage has been increased to 75%. Kind of good. Leap, distance increased from 575 to 650. Buff duration increased from 4 to 5. But mana cost increased from 40 to 50. Max charges decreased from 3 to 2. Base charge restore time decreased from 52 to 28 to 45 to 15. Monkey King. Mischief is his innate ability now. Facet, Wukong's Faithful. Soldiers disperse after 3 seconds if Monkey King gets outside of the formation or dies. Returning inside the circle during this time frame will cancel that dispersion. Oh, so his ult just doesn't end. He can go back in it. Simian Stride. I don't see why you'd do that, though. Tree Dance has no cooldown while Monkey King is at full health. Oh, ooh, that's crazy. Boundless Strike. Crit damage decreased from 135 to 225% to 120 to 180%. Now deals 20 to 80 bonus physical damage. Cooldown decreased from 28 to 22 to 24 to 15. Ooh, very good. Max movement slow increased from 20 to 80 to 35 to 80 on Primal Spring. Max damage increased from 140 to 350 to 140 to 380. And Wukong's command bonus armor increased from 14 to 24 to 15 to 25. 20 talent minus 7 seconds boundless strike cooldown has been replaced with plus 55% damage. Ooh, there you go. Morphling. Innate ability is accumulation. Morphling receives 50% of attribute gain bonuses every half level instead of full bonuses at level up. Also increases all attribute bonuses gained from skill points in the talent tree from 2 to 4. Facets are ebb. Knocks back the target hit with strength. Doesn't matter if you have agility. Flow. Hero's primary... Oh no, it says... Oh, okay. Hero's primary attribute is strength now. Makes Morphling's current agility to strength ratio affect his cooldown speed, ranging from 50% faster with 170% agility strength ratio to regular speed with 50% agility strength ratio. Doesn't affect items. Morph. Replicated abilities are also affected by increased cooldown speed based on agility speed or strength ratio Morphling has had before replicating. How confusing. Adaptive Strike no longer grants bonus agility even with Shard. Adaptive Strike Strength no longer grants bonus strength even with Shard. No longer knocks back the target because it's now a facet. Attribute Shift Agility and Attribute Shift Strength have now had their mana cost reduced by 50%, and Morph benefits from most innates and facets of the targeted hero as well. Muerta, innate ability is supernatural. Muerta can always attack ethereal targets and can attack when she herself is ethereal. When attacking ethereal targets, all of her attack damage is dealt as magical. Oh wow, so it's bonused. Muerta is strong. Oof. Facets. The Calling. Whenever hero dies inside or within 200 range of the Calling, its duration is refreshed, the circle expands by 100, and another Revenant is added. Or Ofrenda. Muerta places a sacred altar at the targeted location. When respawning, Muerta will spawn at the Ofrenda and destroy it, putting the ability on cooldown. Muerta can select a Ofrenda and force it to destroy itself. Only one Ofrenda can exist at a time. Alright. Dead Shot. Projectile radius increased to 150. Impact slow duration increased to 1 second. Gunslinger ability is now toggled on by default. Pierce the Veil. Ability to attack ethereal units is moved to an innate ability. Yes. Ooh, that's a lot of talents. 10 talent, 80 dead shot damage replaced with 350 range, 8 strength replaced with 1.5 max HP regen while inside the Calling, 15 talent, 35 damage replaced with 55 gunslinger, 15 talent, 350 dead shot cast range replaced with 80 dead shot damage, 20 talent, 20% gunslinger chance replaced with the Calling summons 2 additional revenants, 25 talent, the Calling summons 2 additional Revenants, replaced with 20% Gunslinger chance. Alright, so they just swapped around. Naga Siren, innate abilities Eel Skin, 6% evasion for every one of them in 900 radius. Facets, Riptide. Riptide's third ability is her third ability if it's chosen. It's basically the same. Deluge, new Naga Siren's third ability, active ability. A Naga Siren and all of her images hit nearby units with a damaging wave of water that reduces enemy status resistance for 5 seconds. With a mana cost of 70, 80, 90, 100, cooldown 10. Damage 80, 130, 180, 230. Status resistance reduction down to 20. 10 talent is 30% deluge. Ensnare. Aghanim Scepter now also ensnares to affect debuff immune units. Reel In, no longer granted by Scepter, now it is acquired on leveling Ensnare for the first time. Maximum range has been increased to 1600. Targets that are being reeled in have phased and unobstructed movement. Channel duration changed from 5 to the length of the remaining Ensnare. Song of the Siren now heals allies for up to 6% of max health per second without a shard. Shard now increases max health regen by another 4%. No longer grants 1 second extra. Shard now also restores 4% of allied max mana per second. Mana cost has been increased up to 250, and cooldown has been increased up to 100 seconds. 10 talent, plus 25 Riptide damage, replaced with plus 30% Riptide damage. 15 talent, plus 15 strength, replaced with minus 50% mirror image illusion damage taken. Level 25 talent, 25 evasion, replaced with ensnare applies a break. Nature's Prophet, innate ability is Spirit of the Forest. Nature's Prophet gains up to 6% bonus base damage for each tree within 300 distance of him. Also gains multiplied amount of this bonus per Nature's Call treant within 1200 range. So he's going to do a lot of damage if he just stands there. Soothing Saplings is one of his facets. Its Sprout heals 36 health per second for allied units and buildings near the trees. Healing for buildings is reduced by 50%. Wow, that's really OP if you do it and people will help you attack them. Ironwood Treant. Nature's Call summons one Treant with up to 1150 health, a 50% increased damage, and a reinforced property. Treant multiplier is increased from 1 to 3. I don't know about that. Sprout no longer deals damage over time. Now immediately deals up to 240 damage to enemies in a 275 radius. Oh my god. Duration decreased from 6 seconds to 4 seconds. Mana cost decreased from 130 to 100. Cooldown decreased from 15 to 9, from 14 to 8. Teleportation no longer grants damage or armor stacks. Now grants an HP barrier. That's not very good. Cooldown decreased from 75 to 30 to 65 to 20. Level 10 talent Nature's Call cooldown reduction increased to 10 seconds. 15 talent plus 4 stacks replaced with plus 100 barrier. Ew. Plus 15 talent plus 5 Treant summon replaced with plus 45 Treant movement speed. Ew. 20 talent plus 100% Sprout mischance replaced with plus 160 Sprout damage. Level 25 talent 2.5x Treant HP damage replaced with 3x Treant HP damage Spirit of the Forest multiplier. Jesus, Natty P is no longer played. Necrophos, innate ability. Whenever Necrophos kills a unit, he gains a stack that increases health and mana regen by up to 7. Oh, that's just his ability. Facet, Profane Potency, Sadist. Necrophos gains plus 50 AoE increase per current Sadist stack. Rapid Decay, Ghost Shroud now increases movement speed by 25% of speed lost by enemy heroes. Okay, so that's okay. Heartstopper Aura no longer grants regen per kill. It's an innate now. Right. 10 talent plus 3 aura replaced with plus 3 stack duration of Sadist. Night Stalker. Innate ability is Heart of Darkness. At night, Night Stalker's health regen is increased by 40%, but during the day it's decreased by 20%. Ugh. Early game's gonna be rough. Can't get hurt. Blinding Void. Void. Enemy heroes affected by Void do not share vision with their teammates. Deals 50 damage per second when affected enemies cannot be seen. Night Rain. The day and night cycle of the game is reversed. Nighttime duration increased by 15 seconds. Daytime duration decreased by 15 seconds. Oh, okay. So his health regen is going to be insane early game if he goes with this one. Wow. Intense. Aghanim Scepter, but mid game is going to be rough. I don't know. Different. Aghanim Scepter upgrade removed. Now also reduces target vision by up to 400 at any time of the day for Void. Crippling Fear, now upgraded with Aghanim Scepter. Decreases cooldown by 5 seconds and makes it a toggled ability. Costs his regular mana cost to activate, then 6 to 4% of his max mana per second for day and night. Still has regular cooldown, but can be toggled off at any point. That is OP. Level 10 talent Void damage to increase from 50 to 80. Level 15 talent Hunter in the Night status resist increase from 25 to 35. Level 20 talent minus 5 seconds crippling fear cooldown replaced with plus 20 DPS. Wow. Nyx, innate ability, a Nyx sense. Nyx assassin can sense invisible heroes in a 400 radius. Ooh. Facets, mana burn. Nyx Assassin's ability is items burn up to 30% of the current's mana of affected enemies. Targets triggered only on spells that deal 100 damage or more before reductions. Enemy effect scales with the level of Vendetta. Scuttle. Vendetta grants unobstructed pathing and max movement speed for the first 10 seconds. Mind Flare no longer deals damage equal to 3.54, 4.55 target's intelligence. Now deals damage equal to 20 to 35 of the target's match mana. Can now target any unit with mana. This instantly kills non-ancient creeps. Mana cost increased from 100 to 115, up to 115. Cooldown increased from 13 to 4 to 13 to 7. Vendetta no longer burns mana on its own. Aghanim Shard no longer increases the movement speed. Burrow no longer increases Impale cast range, no longer reduces Impale cooldown, no longer increases Mind Flare, now provides Nyx with 500 cast range and plus 25% cooldown reduction. Spike Carapace AoE increased from 300 to 400. Talents 10 talent, Vendetta damage decreased from 75 to 50. 15 talent, 0.75 Mind Flare, Int multiplier replaced with minus 3 cooldown. Level 20 talent, Impale damage decreased to 120. Level 20 talent, Spiked Carapace stun duration increased to 0.5. Level 25 talent Vendetta unobstructed pathing replaced with Vendetta applies break for 5 seconds. That's pretty OP. Level 25 Mind Flare AoE radius increased to 600. Alright, so weird changes. Ogre Magi. Innate ability is Dumb Luck, no longer increases multicast chance by default. Facets, Fat Chance. Each point of strength increases Ogre Magi's chance to multicast by 0.05. Learning curve. Ogre starts the game with 0 ability points, but gains 3 ability points at level 2, and regular ability points for the remainder of the game. Level requirement for all abilities and talents is decreased by 1. Oh wow, so he gets Assault at 5. And talents at 9. That's kind of cool. That's weird though, but no more multicast though. That's kind of weird. That's like the whole point of playing him. Bloodlust. Multicast now prioritizes Ogre Magi himself, followed by heroes, then buildings and creeps. Still skips units that already have the buff. 20 talent, Bloodlust attack speed increased to 30. Omni Knight. Innate ability is Degen Aura. Oh my gosh, it's back. Degenerates the movements capabilities of enemy units that stray too near. Well, there you go. That item is now going to work again. Facets, Omnipresent, Degen Aura. For every 0.5 that an enemy was under the continuous effect of Degen Aura, Omni Knight's damage to that enemy is increased by 1% up to 20%. Each effect resets if the enemy leaves the aura, though. Healing Hammer. Whenever Omni Knight's abilities deal damage an enemy hero, Omni Knight gains a heal over time for 5 seconds equal to 30% of the damage dealt. Repel, now upgraded with Shard, grants 60% magic resistance to the target. Shard upgrade removed. No longer slows affected units. Now is an auto-cast ability with an on-hit effect. Cast range bonuses do not affect it anymore. However, it's still considered as a casted spell. Level 20 Talent Hammer. Purity cooldown reduction decreased from 6 to 5. Oracle. Innate ability is Prognosticate. Oracle will predict and announce to allies where the next power rune will spawn, top or bottom. Well, that's so OP, but it makes sense, because he should know. Facets, Spell Amp increased by 0.5 per level. Clairvoyant Cure, Heal Amp increased by 1% per level. Purifying Flames, duration increased to 10 seconds. Tick rate decreased from 1 second to 0.1 second. Wait, what? So you can heal people really fast. Level 10 talent, False Promise, Armor decreased from 10 to 8. 25 talent, Instant, Fortune's End, replaced with Fortune's End. Fortune's End constantly dispels. Oh, that's pretty cool. OD, innate ability is Outworld Destroyer, gains 2 extra mana per point of intelligence. Facets, Obsidian Decimator, when Essence Flux restores mana, it also increases Outworld Destroyer, maximum mana by 4% for 7 seconds. Overwhelming Devourer. Astral Imprisonment applies a mana allergy debuff, which heals Outworld Destroyer every time enemies spend mana. Mana is heal 100%. Applies a mana allergy debuff, which heals Outworld Destroyer every time enemies spend mana. Or mana pool to damage decrease from 15% to 13 at max level. Astral Imprisonment. Shard now allows Imprisonment to deal damage in an AoE. No longer applies mana allergy debuff without facet 2 chosen. Mana cost decrease from 200 450 to 200 400. Cooldown decrease from 130 to 120. Level 10 talent plus 20 attack speed replaced with plus 250 mana. Level 15 talent 30 movement speed replaced with 1.5% of current mana as movement speed. Level 20 talent sanity is eclipse mana difference multiplier increased from 0.15 to 0.2. Some of these are... Jesus, I have to read this. Pangolier. Innate ability is whenever an enemy within 1,200 units attacks him, they have their chance to proc random on-attack effects reduced by 40%. Jesus. Facets, Double Jump. Pangolier can double jump, activating Shield Crash again while in midair, increasing the damage dealt, resulting barrier by up to 30% based on the total amount of time spent in the air. Thunderbolt, Rolling Thunder, increases roll speed by 115 and improves turn rate. Duration decreased to 8 seconds though. Swashbuckle, range decreased to 700. Cast point increased to 0.15. Cast range decreased to 700. Cooldown increased from 8 to 12. Lucky Shot, armor reduction increased from 2 to 8 to 3 to 9. Debuff duration increased from 4 to 5. Rolling Thunder, damage type changed from magical to physical now. Damage rescaled from flat 180, 260, 340 to 50, 100, 150 plus your attack damage. So that mixed with that's kind of gnarly. You can really pop someone. Level 10 talent, Lucky Shot, armor reduction increased to 4. 15 talent, Shield Crash Barrier increased to 100. Level 15 talent, Rolling Thunder decreased to 2. Level 20 talent, 125 Shield Crash Radius replaced with Radius and damage. Level 20 talent, 15 swashbuckle damage, replaced with 15 attack damage as swashbuckle damage. Phantom Assassin. Innate ability, Phantom Assassin starts with 50% evasion and gets 1.5 per level. Now that is good. All right, facets. Veiled one, no longer dispelled on attack. While blur is active, all mana costs are reduced by 30%. After blur is dispelled, all abilities and items have no mana cost for 5 seconds. Oh, wow. Okay. Methodical. Coup de grace. Critical damage increased from 200 450 to 300 to 550. No longer has random procs. Instead, triggers on the 6th attack on the same hero or on the 4th attack on the same creep. Attack counter lasts for 6 to 10 seconds. Ugh. Level 25 talent plus 7% coup de grace proc chance replaced with -1 attacks. Blur no longer grants evasion, no longer makes her visible, no longer allows to attack without dispelling blur. Oh my gosh. Now enemies can see a ghostly silhouette of her when she's within their vision, but she's still untargetable until dispelled. Vanish radius rescaled from 500 to 400. Buffer rescaled from 0.5 to 1. 1! Oh my goodness. Level 15 talent Phantom Strike cast range decreased from 250 to 200. 15 talent 25 evasion replaced with 15 immaterial evasion. 25 talent coup de grace increased from 7 to 10%. So PA is no longer played. GG's. That hero's gone. Phantom Lancer. Innate ability is now Phantom Rush. Facets, Convergence, spawns an additional illusion per 25% of health that Phantom Lancer is missing. Divergence, Juxtapose. Illusions are uncontrollable and can spawn on any visible unit in the 700 radius of the attack target, prioritizing targets without juxtapose illusions attacking them. They can perform Phantom Rush and change targets once the original one is gone. If there are no valid targets in range, illusions disappear. Illusion outgoing damage increased from 22 to 28. Level 10 talent. Spirit Lance damage decreased to 35. 25 talent. Critical strike chance decreased from 25 to 20. Phoenix, innate ability, Blinding Sun, debuffs from Icarus Dive, Spirits, Sunray, and Nova apply a stackable 2% miss chance per second. Lasts 5 seconds. Applying a new stack refreshes the duration. Facets, Dying Light, burns all enemies in 450 radius around Phoenix, dealing 6% of its missing health per second. Ooh, tanky. Hotspot. Sunray does more damage healed targets near the end of the beam. Beam intensity starts increasing at half the beam length up to 150 of its base damage heal at 1200 range. Increasing Sunray length to beyond 1200 range will result in more damage and healing. Wait, what? Huh. Icarus Dive, damage per second increased to 80, cooldown rescaled to 25. Sunray no longer blinds enemies. 15 talent, 500 health, replaced with 20 regen. Supernova stun duration increased to 0.5. Talent, 25 talent, Supernova hit count decreased to 2. Primal Beast, innate ability is colossal due to his size. Primal Beast does 40% bonus damage to buildings. That's pretty cool. These all make a lot of, well, not all of them, but some of them make sense. Romp and Stomp Trample. Gains passive component that increases movement speed of Primal Beast by 4%. Activating Trample provides 6% movement speed bonus to all allies within 1200 radius, including Primal Beast himself. Ferocity, Uproar. When activated, each stack provides 10% AoE bonus. Rock Throw at its cast point decreased to 0.25, and Rock Flight duration is increased by 0.2. Puck. Innate ability is Puckish. Puck restores 2% of its max health and 2% of its max mana every time it disjoints an attack projectile. Disjointing spell projectiles restore 3% more health and mana. Facets, Jostling Rift. Waning Rift can knock enemies back by up to 150 units or pull them by the same amount when all cast is used. Forced movement happens over 0.3 and doesn't interrupt. Curveball, it's an orb. Is a vector targeted ability. The orb's path can be curved in any direction. Orb speed is increased by 200 and duration is up to 100% longer than a straight orb. What the? Ping pong. Illusory orb. Vision linger duration decreased to 2.5. Mana cost decreased to 120. Waning Rift remove double tap cast on self behavior. Phase shift, cast point increased to 0.01. Dream coil initial damage increased to 325. Stun is increased to 2.5. Talents, 15 talent damage decreased to 60. 20 talent waning rift reduction decreased to 3. 25 talent waning rift radius and max distance increased to 300. Pudge, Innate ability is now Flesh Heap. Facets, Fresh Meat, Dismember. When targeting heroes, Dismember increases Pudge strength by 5 to 7 per tick for 12 seconds. Nice. Flayer's Hook. Hook impact damage decreased by 50%. Enemy units take 25% of the distance traveled as damage while being pulled by Pudge's hook. I don't know about that. Too much thinking would go into those hooks and you'd miss a lot of them. Meat Shield. New basic ability. Pudge covers himself with a layer of flesh that blocks 26 damage of any type taken from any source. So it's basically Flesh Heap, but they just changed it. Dismember no longer has increased duration on creeps. Oh, can't heal. 10 talent, Rot Slow decreased to 15. 25 talent, 1.5. Flesh Heap stack strength and damage. Block bonuses replaced with 1.5x Flesh Heap and Meat Shield bonuses. Pugna. Innate ability is Pugna can use any spell and item while channeling, with the exception of ones that also require channeling, so he can't double channel. Facets. Siphoning Ward, Nether Ward. Pugna restores health and mana to equal to 25% of the damage Nether Ward deals. Rewards of Ruin. Whenever an enemy tower is destroyed, Pugna permanently gains 1.5% spell amplification. Pretty crazy. Nether Blast. Damage decreased from 100 to 340 to 95 to 320. Decrypt can no longer be cast while channeling on its own. Enemy increased magic damage decreased to 50. Whop. Innate abilities. Whenever an enemy within 1200 range deals spell damage to Quap, she returns 10% of it. Facets are Succubus, gains bonus spell lifesteal that increases with proximity, starting with 12% at 800 rage up to 18 at 300. Masochist, spell amp increased by 50%, 22% of spell damage dealt to heroes is also inflicted upon Quap. Damage to illusions is not reflected. Damage reflected is before reduction. Damage reflected is a non-lethal. Reflected damage can be negated by the debuff immunity. Shadow Strike, no longer heals per tick. Duration increased from 15 to 16. Mana Cross decreased to 140. Scream of Pain, cooldown rescaled from 7 to 6. Talents, 10 talent, 10 Shadow Strike heal per tick replaced with 8 strength. 15 talent, 30 attack speed replaced with plus 40 attack speed against Shadow Strike to units. 15 talent Shadow Strike damage interval increased from 0.7 to -1. Razer, innate ability is Unstable Current, increases move speed by 1% per level. Facets are Thunderhead. When Eye of the Storm is active, Storm Surge proc chance is doubled, and procs will additionally strike all enemies within the Eye of the Storm. Radius can't strike the same enemy twice per proc. That's pretty OP. Razer gains 1% spell amp for every 20 points of attack damage. Static Link, the pull is decreased to 75, no longer increases movement speed on Storm Surge, and the 15 talent Static Link drains 1 armor, has been replaced with -1 second strike cooldown. Ricky. Innate ability is now Backstab, levels up with Cloak and Dagger. Facets, Contract Killer, Backstab. Ricky gets 350 bonus XP for kills and 100 bonus XP for assists based on the current level of Backstab. Exterminator, Tricks of the Trade, agility bonus is multiplied by 3 against non-hero units. Oh, so you can farm more. Smokescreen now also applies its mischance to enemies when they try to attack allies that are inside the smokescreen. Tricks of the Trade, agility bonus changed from 100 to a flat plus 30, 50, 70, 90. That's really gimp. That's rough. Cloak and Dagger. Bonus damage on attack in the back moved to an innate and no longer grants bonus XP on kills and assists. Level 15 talent plus 30% Tricks of the Trade agility bonus replaced with plus 50 Tricks of the Trade agility increase. Rubik. Innate ability is Spell Amp also increases Rubik's base attack damage by 100% of its value and magic resist by 50% of its value. Facets. Frugal Filch. Spell Steal decreases mana cost of stolen spells by up to 6%. Ooh. Arcane Accumulation. Spell Steal. Every time Rubik casts a spell, he gains plus 25 AoE spell radius amp for 20 seconds. Multiple instances of this buff stack independently. Ooh, I just see Tidehunter and OD being stolen from and just popping people. Fade Bolt. Mana cost decreased to 140. Spell Steal. Stolen spells will now use the facet of the hero was stolen from. Ooh. Sand King. Innate is Caustic Finale now, and it no longer slows. Facets, Sand Shroud. Sandstorm makes Sand King invisible. Sandstorm radius increased. Dust Devil. Sandstorm follows Sand King with a speed equal to 70% of his current movement speed. When Sand King casts Burrow Strike, Sandstorm recenters on Sand King's new location. Oh, okay. That's kind of weird. Kind of Kind of like they ran out of ideas. Burrow Strike can now be put on alt cast to immediately cast in the desired direction without walking until the required cast range is reached. Sandstorm no longer makes Sand King visible by default. Storm no longer follows Sand King by default. Stinger, a new ability. Area targeted. Sand King performs an empowered tail strike with a fixed 200 range, attacking all enemies within 315 radius. This attack deals 160 bonus damage and slows enemies by up to 16% for 7 seconds. Total damage increased by 40% for enemies within the innermost 125 area. Cast point is 0.4. Cooldown 5 seconds. Epicenter, number of pulses has been increased to 20. Damage per pulse decreased to 80. Ooh, that's not cutting it in half. Radius increase per pulse decreased from 25 to 13. Total epicenter duration increased to 6. Attack slow increase to 60. Slow debuff now lasts for 3 seconds after being hit by a pulse. Wow, so his ult is gnarly now, but everything else is kind of weird. 15 talent, 120 damage, replaced with 50 stinger damage. 15 talent, 50 sandstorm movement speed, replaced with 12 stinger slow. 20 talent incremental epicenter radius decreased to 12. Level 25 talent epicenter pulse is increased to 10. Wow, so he can get 70, or not 70, how many? Number of pulses 30. You can have 30 pulses at the end. That's insane. Shadow Demon. Innate ability is Menace. Shadow Demon attacks applies stacking debuff that applies damage taken by the target by 2% per stack. Debuff duration is 8 seconds, which is refreshed with every stack. How many stacks? Facets. Promulgate, disseminate. When applied to an enemy, they lose 15% of their current health, regaining half of it after the effect is lifted. If the target is an ally, their current and max health are increased by 50% instead. Shadow Servant. If an enemy hero is killed by Shadow Demon or dies within 1500 range from an illusion of that hero is created, illusion deals up to 40% damage depending on the current level of disruption. The illusion disappears when the hero it was created from respawns or when Shadow Demon dies. So no illusions are created if killed by Shadow Demon after his death. Disruption. Bonus base damage decreased to 60. 10 talent strength decreased to 10. 20 talent demonic purge decreased to 150. That's the damage and heal. Shadow Fiend. Innate ability is now his soul's facets. Presence of the Dark Lord for every enemy hero killed nearby. Presence of the Dark Lord further reduces armor by 2 for 60 seconds. Shadowmire, Shadow Raise, consecutive hit supply stacking 10% movement speed slow and 10 attack speed slow. That's the one that hurts a lot. Shadow Raise no longer reduces movement speed by default. Cooldown decreased to 9. Now upgraded with Shard, reduces cooldown by 2 seconds per enemy hero hit. Feast of Souls is a new ability. Shadow Fiend gains up to 70 attack speed for 8 seconds. After the effect is done, 5 souls are consumed. Shadow Fiend should have 5 souls in order to cast. Should have 5 souls to cast it. Okay. Presence of the Dark Lord no longer gets stronger with enemy kills by default. Must be picked by a facet. Level 10 talent, plus 25 attack speed, replaced with plus 30 Feasts of Souls attack speed. Level 10 talent, Shadow Raise. Stack damage increased from 25 to 30. Level 15 talent, Shadow Raise. Base damage increased from 1 to 120. Level 20 talent, Necro Mastery. Damage per soul decreased to 2. Level 25 talent, minus 5 second cooldown, replaced with Feast of Souls, grants 40 cast speed. Shadow Shaman. Innate ability is Foul Play. Whenever Shadow Shaman takes lethal damage, he survives as a 1 HP chicken with movement speed increased by 10%. That's what I saw earlier and when I was streaming. Applies strong dispel upon transformation and provides 0.75 protection from all damage. Hex duration 3 seconds. Facets, Cluster Cluck, Hex. Cluster Cluck. Hex can be cast on allied heroes. After a 0.1 second invulnerability period, transform them into a chicken with 10 bonus move speed and create 3 chicken images that take 30% damage and provide no bounty. Chicken images are uncontrollable and try to confuse enemies. One chicken always stands still, one chicken always scatters, and the other chicken will either stand still or scatter. Illusion duration is 2. Adds 0.1 invulnerability period and creates 3 uncontrollable illusions on proc. Massive Serpent Ward. 10 mass Serpent Wards are combined into 1 massive Serpent Ward with 10x damage and bounty values, while health is multiplied by 7.5. Level 20 talent, Serpent Ward max XP HP, change from plus 1 to plus 50%. Level 25 talent, Serpent Ward attack damage, change from plus 25 to plus 20%. Silencer, Brain Drain. Silencer permanently steals intelligence from heroes that die nearby. Shard increases it to 4. Facets, silencer can't be silenced, and the other one is duration is decreased on his ult, but the first time it ends on an enemy for any reason, it's applied on them again. Second duration is up to 2 seconds. Arcane Curse ability reworked. It curses the target area, causing enemy heroes to take up to 40 damage per second. First instant applies immediately and slowing their movement speed about 25. If a target casts a spell, they are silenced for 2 seconds. If the duration is paused as long as the target is silenced for any reason, but the damage and slow are still in effect. Glaives of Wisdom ability reworked. Activate to throw an enchanted glaive that will steal up to 4 intelligence from the target for up to 35 seconds and deal 80% up to 80% of silencer's intelligence as additional damage. Landing 4 glaives will silence them. You become Abaddon. Aghanim Shard increases temporary intelligence steal by 1 and duration by 50 seconds. Attack counter will shard. Oh, I just remember he's like Slark. I just realized he's like Slark, not remembered. Jesus, it's been a long day. Attack counter resets after 6 seconds without reapplying. Stacks cannot be applied to an enemy who's currently suffering from it. Last word. It's a passive aura. Enemies within 1200 range of silencer are slowed by 15 and take 50 damage per second for each silence debuff they suffer. Silence can be upgraded by Scepter, and it causes silence to apply curse to enemy heroes. I remember it doing that at one point. I wonder if they just changed it back. 15 talent, 0.8 last word multiplier replaced with plus 20 to 5% last word damage and slow. Level 25 talent, last word mutes replaced with 2 arcane curse charges. Sky Wrath Mage. Innate abilities Ruin and Restoration. Ruin and Restoration. Provides Skywrath Mage with up to 50% spell lifesteal at level 1. Yikes. Shield of the Scion. Or up to 50% when it's maxed. Shield of the Scion grants the second innate ability, Shield of the Scion. Whenever Skywrath damages an enemy hero with any of his abilities, each instance of magical damage grants him a stack of magical barrier. Each stack protects from 10 magical damage plus 1 per Skywrath Mage's level. Each stack has its own duration. Staff of the Scion. Whenever Skywrath Mage damages an enemy hero with any of his abilities, each instance of magical damage reduces all of his cooldowns by 0.1. So ult would really be good for that. Arcane Bolt no longer applies a spell lifesteal debuff. Upgrade move from Scepter to Shard and decrease from 2 to 1. Mystic Flare now instantly kills illusions. 10 talent plus 8 int replaced with plus 0.5 Arcane Bolt int multiplier. Level 10 talent plus 200 health replaced with 1.5 mana regen. Level 15 talent plus 25% Arcane Bolt lifesteal replaced with plus 50% Ruin and Restoration lifesteal. Slardar, Seaborn Sentinel. Slardar gains bonus movement speed, health, regen, attack damage, and armor while in a puddle or a river. And Egg Scepter increases health regen by 22, bonus armor by 11, and provides 40% status resistance. Facets, Leg Day. Guardian Sprint grants a 2-second speed burst on cast, during which Slardar gains additional 8% speed bonus and 100% slow resistance, both of which then gradually fade out for another 3, reaching normal ability values. A Brine Guard. Corrosive Haze. Any active debuff on enemy hero provides 40% of the reduced armor to Slardar. Guardian Sprint. River-based bonuses and Aghanim Scepter upgrade move to an innate ability. Slitherine Crush. Aghanim Shard no longer increases AoE by 75%. Aghanim Scepter puddle duration decreased from 25 to 15. Bash of the Deep bonus damage and water move to the innate ability as well. Slark. Now here we go. One of my heroes. Innate ability is Barracuda. When not visible to the enemy team, Slark gains bonus 48 movement speed and 120 health regen. At level 1? Wow. My dude. Facets, Leeching Leash, Pounce. Applies 4 Essence Shift stacks to enemy heroes caught by Pounce. Ooh. When revealed by enemies, Barracuda effect lingers for 0.5, 1 up to 2 seconds when Slark is not within 1200 units or of any allied heroes. Pounce no longer applies Essence Shift stacks by default. Aghanim Scepter range decreased from 1000 to 900. Shadow Dance, passive movement speed and regen bonuses move to an innate ability. Mana cost decreased from 120 to 100, and cooldown decreased from 75 to 45, to 60 to 40. Depth Shroud no longer stacks with Shadow Dance. Oh, wow. I didn't even know you could do that. That's crazy. You would heal like crazy. Level 50, but then you just perish after, probably. Level 15 talent, 50 Shadow Dance regen replaced with plus 50 Barracuda regen. Okay, so not much with him. Snap. Innate ability is Buckshot. Snapfire's attacks deal 25% more damage, but they have a 25% chance of making a glancing shot that will deal 50% less. Facets, ricochet. Whenever so she's like a Western shooter. See, these are really cool. Whenever Snap fires, attack misses or glances, 2 ricochet attacks that can't miss and deal 70% of the damage. 75% of the damage will bounce towards nearby enemies. Full bore shoots in a more narrow cone with range increased to 1400. Also reverses the point blank rules, applying them to enemies that are further than 650 units away. Fire Snap Cookie. Aghanim Shard no longer increases jump distance and air time. Aghanim Shard now heals target by 200 health. Little Shredder now also deals 25% of Snapfire's base attack damage. Base damage per shot decreased from 35 to 105 to 15 to 60. Bonus attack range increased from 75 to 300 to 160 to 400. Wow, okay. Level 10 talent Fire Snap Cookie restores 175 health, replaced with plus 20 Mortimer Kisses debuff DPS. Okay, Sniper. Nate ability is Keen Scoop, increases his attack range by up to 400. Okay. Facets are Ghillie Suit, Take Aim. While active, Sniper isn't revealed in Fog of War when attacking enemies. But it doesn't last very long. That's rough. Scatter Shot, Shrapnel. Duration decreased to 1 second, but the damage is multiplied by 4 and movement slow is multiplied by 2. Ooh. It's weird. The duration is really rough. Headshot. Now knockback distance increases with the proximity of the target to Sniper. Max knockback distance increased to 50. Take Aim. The passive was moved to an innate ability. Now provides 20 bonus armor for duration, and self-slow increased to 65. Ew. Gross. You're really a sniper. 10 talent. Plus 1 take aim duration replaced with plus 10% slow on shrapnel. 15 talent, 15 slow replaced with plus 1 second take aim, so they swapped them. 20 talent, 25 shrapnel DPS replaced with a 100 attack range. 20 talent, headshot knockback distance replaced with 15 take aim armor. 25 talent, 100 attack range replaced with plus 50 max headshot knockback distance. And 25 talent, plus 6 shrapnel charges replaced with minus 25 seconds shrapnel charge restore time. So he kind of got nerfed pretty hard, in my opinion. Spectre. Spectre and her illusions permanently have phase movement. Facets, Desolate. Deal 40% of damage if the target has only one non-hero ally within range. Has only non-hero allies within range. Abilities damage is applied to Spectral Dagger. Twist the Knife. Reality. Cast Spectral Dagger of the current level on the haunts target and decreases reality cooldown to 1 second. Also makes illusions persist even after their target dies. Spectral Dagger no longer applies Desolate damage by default. Desolate damage rescaled down to 65. Dispersion. Shard changed from increasing damage by 100 to increasing absorbed and reflected by 50. Reality no longer casts Spectral Dagger by default. Spirit Breaker. Innate ability is Herd Mentality. Provides the hero in your team with the least experience points with a buff that increases their experience gain by 50% unless they reach the level to match the second least. Can apply to Spirit Breaker as well. Bull Rush, Charge of Darkness, make charge bonus speed fade out over a short duration after the charge ends, based on how long the charge lasts. Linger duration, 3 seconds, minimum 0.5. Imbalanced. Enemies receive a debuff that increases the distance of forced movement applied to them by Spirit Breaker and his allies by 100% for 6 seconds. Jesus. Charge of Darkness now pierces debuff immunity by default. Aghanim Shard now grants 100 move speed bonus. Greater Bash no longer deals bonus damage to creeps. Now there's Shard bonus damage rescaled to 350. Planar Pocket is now granted by Scepter. No longer stops working after blocking one spell. 200 Charge of Darkness bonus speed replaced with -4 cooldown for the 25 talent. Storm Spirit. Innate ability is Galvanized. He gains a charge of 0.2 mana regen anytime he kills an enemy hero or whenever an enemy hero dies within 1200 range. Gains 5 charges on leveling up Ball Lightning. Loses 3 charges when he passes. Every time Storm Spirit gains a charge, he also permanently gains 0.1 mana regen. Facet Shock Collar. Applies a debuff when using Electric Vortex on affected enemies, making them trigger an overload explosion on them if they attack within the next 6. Static Slide. Static Remnant becomes point targeted ability with 800 cast range. Static Remnant moves in the targeted point at 325 speed. Vision radius decreased to 100. What? Electric Vortex duration rescaled from 0.9 to 2.1 to 2. 15 talent Remnant damage increased to 60. 25 talent 2x Overload Bounce now deals 65% damage. I think he's bad now, or different. Kinda. Sven's attacks deal 50% more damage to stunned enemies. Warcry creates a 200 physical damage barrier on all affected heroes. Wrath of God, base damage decreased by 25. Sven passively receives an additional 0.7 damage per point of strength, depending on the current level of God strength. That's all they changed for him. Techies. His sign is still his ability. Facets are Techies gains 1 attack range for each point of attack speed. Oh, so it works with his talent now. Spleen's secret sauce, blast off damage and self damage increased by 50% of Techie's max health. Self damage is also now pure. Spoon stash, Techies can use and benefit from backpack items as if they were in their inventory. What? Templar assassin, innate ability is side blades, facets. Spilled enemies have their movement speed slowed by up to 25% for 3 seconds on side blades, and refraction grants a damage instance every time a shield instance gets consumed. Refraction no longer grants damage block instances, now grants multiple instances of a 30, 50, 60 health barrier. Whenever barrier is fully consumed, the amount of shield instances will decrease by 1 and a new full barrier will appear as long as there are instances left. Any damage that would reduce a barrier to less than 0 health is fully absorbed. Oh, so you just have to. Well, that's weird. Why not keep it? That's so weird. Instances decrease from 6 to 5. Sonic Trap. Scepter now increases total trap damage by 100. Projection. Bonus damage increased to 300. Channel time increased to 2 seconds. 10 talent. Plus 110 trap damage, replaced with plus 5 slow. Level 15 talent side blades attack and spill range decrease from 120 to 100. Level 20 talent meld dispels, replaced with refraction dispels. Level 25 talent refraction instances decrease to 5. A lot of these, like, I don't know, they just really don't like some of these here. Terror Blade, innate ability. Illusions under Terror Blade's control that are within range receive a damage bonus. Illusions outside of the range receive a damage penalty. Range 1200, bonus damage 25%, damage penalty 50%. Facet, Condemned, removes minimum health threshold for enemies on Sunder. Soul Fragment, illusions always spawn with full health, but the ability also costs 20% of your current health. Metamorphosis, attack range rescaled to 570, cooldown rescaled from 150 to 140. Demon Zeal now also provides 20 HP regen per second. Terror Wave now also deals 200 magic damage to enemies. Tide Hunter, innate ability is Blubber. Oh, removes negative status effects if he takes more than 500 damage from player-controlled sources. 500? Facets, Kraken Swell, base strength 27, strength gain 3.5. Damage block permanently increases by 4 each time an enemy hero dies under the effects of Anchor Smash. Tidehunter doesn't get stacks if he is dead. Prill Leader, base strength 22, strength gain is 4. Base attack range decreased by 50. Attack range is increased by 5 every level for hero. Anchor Smash, radius decreased by 50. Radius increased by 5 every hero level. Kraken Shell Dispel on damage moved to an innate. Level 10 talent Anchor Smash damage decreased to 40. 20 talent plus 4 Kraken Shell damage block per Anchor Smash kill replaced with plus 4 Gush armor reduction. Timber Saw, innate ability is restores up to 6 mana every time he destroys a tree. Timber Chain for Shredder. When Timber Saw collides with the targeted tree, it shatters, sending 10 splinters in all directions up to 700 distance. If a splinter hits an enemy, they take up to 80 damage and are slowed up to 60%. Wow, Twisted Chakram. Grants Twisted Chakram ability when leveling up Chakram. Launches a smaller uncontrollable Chakram which flies in an infinity sign in the selected direction. It deals up to 200 pure damage to any enemies on its way, slowing their movement by 5% for each 5% of their missing health. Slow duration 2 seconds, width 125, range 600, flight range 1200. Cooldown 12 seconds. That sounds absolutely insane. 12 seconds? Whirling Death, mana costs increase from 95 to 100 at max. Well, it's 100 all the time now. Level 20 talent, Chakram Slow increased to 5. 25 talent, 11, 25 Timber Chain. Replaced with plus 75% Timber Chain range and projectile speed. 25 talent. Chakram replaced with plus 75 Whirling Death tree bonus damage. Tinker, innate ability is Eureka, gains 1% item cooldown reduction per 4 int up to 60%. Oh, so he just gets it automatically now. He got March of the Machines back. Applies a non-stacking heal over time when robots pass through allied heals. Oh wait, no, allied heroes. Oh. Translocator, defense matrix. When the barrier is fully absorbed on Tinker, he blinks in a random forward direction for 300 range. That sounds horrible. Laser, cast range increased to 600, no longer has an AoE by default. Blind now affects all enemies in the radius when the AoE talent is picked. Creep blind duration is now the same as hero blind duration. Mana cost decreased to 125. Aghanim Scepter no longer provides bonus cast range, and it can now shrink creeps. March of the Machines has returned. Calls for an army of robots to freaking stop your push. Here we go again. Up to 40 damage, duration 6 seconds, radius 900, cast range 300, cooldown 35. Defense matrix, cooldown increased 20. Rearm no longer resets cooldowns of items. No longer grants magic resistance. Channel time decreased to 1.25 at max, or 2.75 from 3.25 at the first level. Mana cost decreased to 225. Keen Conveyance channel time decreased from 3.5 to 3. Outpost channel time now matches those from Town Portal Scrolls. Warp Flare damage increased to 150. Duration decreased to 2. Level 10 talent 50 laser AoE replaced with plus 1 second of March of the Machines duration. 15 talent plus 1 heat-seeking missile count replaced with 250 AoE laser. Level 20 talent defense matrix grants 25% cooldown reduction replaced with 10% defense matrix status resistance. Level 25 talent 0.2 second heat-seeking missile mini stun replaced with rearm grants 50% magic resistance for 4 seconds. Tiny. Nate ability is Craig exterior. That's the same one. Oh wait. Yeah. Enemies that attack Tiny get a stacking debuff that increases their attack damage by 5% per stack. Max stacks 10. Debuff duration 5. Each stack refreshes duration. Debuff immune enemies aren't affected and don't receive stacks. Facet is Crash Landing. Toss. Increases landing radius from 275 to 450. Landing deals 40% more damage to enemies in the target area and slows their attack speed up to 40 and their movement speed up to 35. Slow duration is 2.5. Insurmountable. Tiny receives 25% of his strength as slow resistance and 10% of his strength as status resistance. Tree Grab. Bonus damage rescaled from 35 to 40. Grow no longer provides slow resistance, now provides 30 movement speed. Bonus damage increased from 170 to 180. Level 10 talent plus 20 movement speed replaced with plus 200 avalanche cast range. 15 talent plus 10 status resistance replaced with minus 10% grow attack speed reduction. Level 20 talent 40% bonus damage with grow and tree replaced with plus 70 tree grab bonus base damage. Tree Ant Protector, innate ability is Nature's Guise. Facets, Primeval Power, gains 5 basic attack damage per hero level. Sapling can be ground targeted with Leech Seed, planting a tree and damaging and healing all enemies in the area in the effect radius for the duration of the ability. Damage and healing is halved for creeps when the ability is ground targeted. If the tree is cut down, it regrows again with the next pulse. Troll Warlord, innate ability is Berserker's Rage. So that's the one where you can swap from range to melee. Facet, Insensitive. Each stack grants 1 armor when Troll Warlord is in melee form. Bad Influence, Battle Trance, grants 30% of its attack speed bonus to all allied heroes globally. World Axe's melee Dispel now always pierces debuff immunity. Scepter Dispel now always pierces on whirling. Fervor, Aghanim Shard base proc chance decreased to 18%. Level 15 talent Whirling Axes, damage increased to 100. Level 20 talent Berserker's Rage Armor decreased to 8. Level 20 talent plus 20% Battle Trance movement speed replaced with plus 50% Battle Trance slow resistance. Tusk, innate ability is a Bitter Chill. Passively slows the attack speed of all enemies by up to 50. Tag Team. Tag Team, third basic ability. When the Facet is picked, it gives you Tag Team. Activate to temporarily apply a negative debuff aura around you, causing enemies that are attacked under it to take bonus physical damage and reduce movement speed. Up to 95 damage. Level 10 talent is plus 25 Tag Team damage. Drinking Buddies, new ability. Tusk reaches out to tag a targeted allied unit, pulling them closer. Once tagged, both Tusk and his tagged ally gain increased movement speed and bonus attack damage for 5 seconds. Bonus move speed 25, damage up to 95. Level 10 talent changes to plus 25 Drinking Buddies bonus damage. Walrus Punch now is affected by spell blocks like Lincoln Sphere. Bonus damage increased to 100. Critical damage decreased from 350 to 300. No longer slows target movement speed by 40% after they land. Oh, nerfs. Underlord, innate ability is Atrophy. Facets are Demon's Reach, When Underlord has bonus damage from Atrophy Aura, his attacks start cleaving, dealing 35% damage. 35% damage. The cleave distance is equal to 100 plus 5 per each point of bonus damage. Abyssal Horde, Fiend's Gate. Whenever Underlord teleports with Fiend's Gate, he will bring forth uncontrollable warriors and archers to fight for him. The first underlings are summoned together for the closest visible enemy unit within 1200 range from the gate Underlord teleported to. Then they are summoned one by one in 2-second intervals. All summons die once the gates close. Summon level depends on the level of Fiend's Gate. Warrior is up to 800 health and up to 50 damage. Burns 30 mana on every hit and deals up to 500 magical damage to whoever kills it. Golden experience up to 40. Archer has 800 health and 60 attack damage. Has a passive warrior that increases movement speed by up to 9 and has a bounty of 40 at max. Pit of Malice, root duration increased from 1.8 or 1.2 to 1.5 at the main level, their first level. Mana cost increased at all levels other than max. Cooldown increased from 21 to 15 to 30 to 15. Fiend's Gate cast point decreased to 0.0. Minimum distance decreased to 1500. Ooh. Aghanim Scepter now also reduces cooldown by 20 seconds. Level 10 talent plus 5 armor replaced with plus 10% Fiend's Gate movement bonus / damage reduction. Level 20 talent plus 15% atrophy aura attack damage reduction replaced with plus 10% atrophy aura damage reduction and gain. Level 25 talent plus 50% atrophy allied hero bonus replaced with Fiend's Gate deals 100 DPS in a 700 radius. Undying, I played him earlier. When Undying dies, he will automatically respawn in the fountain when the game's begins the game on cooldown, and the cooldown is 480 seconds. Very weird when it first happens. You feel like you accidentally bought back. Rotting Mitts, Flesh Golem. When Flesh Golem is active, Undying's attacks will spawn a zombie chasing the attack target 15 seconds. Does not work on Roche. Ripped, Soul Rip. When Soul Rip is cast on an allied hero, they gain 10% of Undying's current strength for 10 seconds. Tombstone, zombie vision range decreased from 1400 to 900. Mana cost increased from 180 to 200 at max. Aghanim Shard, time restraint to leave or re-enter decreased from 3 to 2. Flesh Golem, slow duration decreased from 4 to 3. Because now if you do this, you're screwed. Ursa. Innate ability is Maul. Ursa gains 1.5 of his current health as damage. Facets, Grudge Bearer, Enrage, 5% of damage absorbed during Enrage is converted to damage. Buff lingers for 5 seconds after it expires. Bear Down, duration of all debuffs applied by Ursa is increased by 20%. Ooh, this one's what I want. I want to fight. Overpower, mana cost increase from 30 to 60 to 45 to 60. Venge. Innate ability is Retribution. Whenever an enemy hero kills Venge, they get a debuff until their next death, causing Vengeful Spirit to deal 10% bonus damage to them. Avenging Missile. Base attack time is 1.7. Damage increased by 0.75 for every last hit or deny the target enemy has. Ooh, so she's going to be a hard hit and support. She can mess up some carries. Soul Strike. Base attack time is 1.5. Vengeful Spirit's attacks fire traces of her soul that punch the enemy on contact, making her attacks have melee behavior. Weird. Oh, so she can have a basher. Level 10 talent, Magic Missile cast range decreased to 100. Level 10 talent, Nether swap enemy damage decreased from 200 to 150. 15 talent, minus 2 seconds Magic Missile cooldown replaced with 0.3 second Magic Missile stun duration. Level 20 talent plus 200 Magic Missile damage replaced with minus 2 seconds Magic Missile cooldown. Venomancer, Latent Toxicity and Poison Nova have been removed. Innate is Poison Sting. Okay, Facets, Patient 0. The plague spreads 2 times, but the initial damage for all spreads after the first one is reduced by 100%. At least it bounces a lot, but still pretty poop. Plague Carrier, Plague Ward can be cast on allies, attaching a ward onto them. While attached, wards are untargetable and die one at a time whenever the unit they are attached to are onto receives up to 250 damage. Wards attack the same target their attached unit is attacking. That's weird. Venomous Gale, impact damage decreased from 125 to 100. Damage per tick decreased from 105 to 100. Now upgraded with Shard. If it's dispelled from an enemy, they take 300 damage and are stunned. Oh, so that's like the toxicity one. Noxious Plague. If an enemy already infected with a plague gets hit again, no impact damage is done, and the debuff duration is refreshed. Dazzle. Level 15 talent, Poison Sting, slow decrease from 6 to 5. Level 20 talent, Noxious Plague, max HP damage decrease from 1.5 to 1. A Viper. Innate ability is now Corrosive Skin, Facets, Poison Burst, Poison Attack. After the debuff expires, all enemies around the target in a 300 radius take damage equal to 100% of the magic damage dealt by Poison Attack. Caustic Bath, Corrosive Skin, damage per second and magic resistance are increased while Vipers and Nether Toxins area of effect up to 100% after 4 seconds. Magic resist, damage per second and magic resistance are increased while Viper. Oh my goodness. Poison attack, cast range decreased from 600 to 720 to 600. Nosedive, no longer disarms. Corrosive Skin splatter radius decreased from 1200 to 500. Oh, cast range increased from 475 to 700. Dive speed increased from 500 to 700. I don't like that change. Level 10 talent corrosive skin damage per second increased from 18 to 20. Level 15 talent plus 15% corrosive skin magic resistance replaced with plus 20 corrosive skin attack speed slow. Visage, base armor increased by 1. Oh wait, I didn't mean to read that. Innate ability, Gravekeeper's Cloak. Facets are Sepulture, Grave Chill, affects all enemies within 300 units from the target, gains only 25% of its bonuses from each secondary target. Faithful Followers, summon Familiars. Familiars always follow Visage and cannot receive direct attack or movement commands. They will attack the target Visage tried to attack last and return if that target is out of Visage's attack range, or if Visage issues the stop or hold position command. Can still be ordered to cast Stone Form from the hero or individually. Familiars will search for a nearby valid target within 300 range of the target they were previously attacking dies, and no additional orders are issued. If Familiars got way too far away, 3500 range, they will teleport to Visage within 4 seconds. Movement speed increased by 40, can be put on autocast to make Familiar immediately return to Visage. They can't attack while autocast is on. Stone Form has a cast range of 1200. Summon Familiars. Familiars now upgrade if they were already summoned when leveling up the ability. Now can be alt-cast Recall Familiars, teleporting them to Visage after 4 seconds. Familiars can't act during this preparation, and it won't start if they're currently in Stone Form. Stone Form Familiar's version is now point targeted. Will instruct the Familiar to cast Stone Form in the selected location. Can be either self-cast or alt-cast to use it at the current location. Visage's version is now point targeted. Will instruct the Familiar closest to the cast location to travel there and cast Stone Form. Can be either self-cast or alt-cast to instruct the Familiar closest to Visage to cast Stone Form at its current location. And my mind is melted. Void Spirit. Innate ability, Intrinsic Edge. Void Spirit gains 33% more secondary bonuses from primary attributes. Facets, Sanctuary. Resonant Pulse. Barrier absorbs all damage types. Symmetry. Void Spirit gains a physical damage shield equal to 40% of its magic damage dealt to enemy heroes. Buff duration is 20 seconds. No longer creates a physical damage barrier on its own. Dissimulate is mana cost decreased from 130 to 120. Now Warlock. This is someone I used to enjoy playing, so let's see what they did. Innate ability is Eldritch Summoning. Whenever a unit dies under effect of any of Warlock's abilities, a minor imp is spawned in their place. Imps are uncontrollable and run towards. Okay. It's just the little imps that we had before. Imp health is up to 370 and damage is up to 225 and radius is 400. Attack damage against buildings up to 26 and they last for 15 seconds. Aghanim Shard improves values by 1 level. Facets. Champion of Goroth. Permanent immolation damage per second is increased by Warlock's current health and mana regeneration. Black Grimoire. Grants Black Grimoire neutral item. Hero kills and assists infuse the Black Grimoire with charges. This item can be used in either neutral or regular item slots, but cannot be put in a backpack or dropped. Can be consumed to grant 250 experience per charge. For that, press right-click on the item and select the Consume Item option. Black Grimoire starts with 1 charge and on cooldown of 20 seconds. I used it on accident because I had no idea if it would just give it to me at the beginning of the game, like maybe early level 2 type stuff. Shadow Word, cast point improved from 0.4 to 0.2. Backswing improved to 0.4. Now heals all friendly units and damages all enemy targets within 300 radius around the target. Heal damage per second rescaled from 15 to 45 to 16 to 40. Heal damage now ticks every 0.5 instead of every second. Upheaval cast range decreased from 900 to 800. Radius increase from 650 or 500 to 575 at level 1. Mana cost increased from 70 to 100 to just 100. Cooldown rescaled from 35 to 30 flat at the end. Chaotic Offering cast range decreased to 900. Damage decreased to 200. Colin's permanent immolation damage interval decreased to 2.5. Aghanim Scepter Golem's damage decreased to 160. Aghanim Scepter Golems no longer have reduced health or bounty. Ugh. Level 10 talent Upheaval Radius decreased to 50. Level 15 talent Shadow Word decreased to 15. Level 20 talent 450 AoE Shadow Word replaced with plus 40 upheaval damage. Weaver. Innate ability is now Geminate, Facets, Skitter Step, Shakuchi. Movement speed is increased to 600, and enemies affected by Shakuchi are slowed by 100% for 0.3 seconds. Jesus. Hive Mind, the Swarm. Whenever the Swarm's beetle attack heroes, Weaver gets up to 9 experience. What the? Level 10 talent, Shakuchi damage increased to 60, 25 talent, cooldown reduction increased to 3 seconds. Wind Ranger innate is easy breezy. Wind Ranger's movement speed is always as fast as wind and cannot be lower than 240. Max movement speed increased from 550 to 600. Facets, Tailwind. Wind Run grants 15% bonus move speed to herself and allies within 700 radius. Focus Fire. Unit target ability allows to attack one target with increased speed, but damage is reduced by 30%. Duration 20 seconds. Level 25 talent is Focus Fire kills advanced cooldown by 18 seconds. Whirlwind, Focus Fire. It's a no-target ability. Wind Ranger starts shooting 7 to 11 arrows per second at random enemies within her attack range. Damage of these arrows is reduced by 30%. When the enemy is hit, they can't be targeted again for the next 3 shots. Duration 8 seconds, prioritizes heroes. Level 25 talent is Focus Fire, kills extend duration by 2 seconds. That seems whack. Seems like no pick. Winter Wyvern. Innate ability is Eldworm Scholar. When an allied hero picks up a Wisdom rune, the 3 heroes that would not benefit from will gain 20% of their experience instead. Facets. Essence of the Blue Heart. Whenever Winter Wyvern restores health or heals an ally, 50% of all healing done restores mana as well. Dragon Sight. Winter Wyvern gains up to 1 bonus damage for each 10 attack range over 400. Scales with Winter Curses levels. Attack Burn no longer increases night vision, attack range decreased to 375, and burn damage interval decreased to 0.5. Splinter damage can now be cast on allies, but not herself. Cast range decreased to 1150. Movement slow rescaled from 30 to 40. Projectile speed no longer has variable projectile speed based on distance to the target and is always 1200. Winter's Curse. Mana cost decreased from 200 to 150. Now has a base duration of 2 seconds. Duration now increases with each taunted enemy at the moment of cast by 2 seconds for every taunted enemy hero and by 0.5 for every taunted creep. Now has a max duration of up to 7 seconds. No longer ends prematurely if no enemies are around the target. 25 talent of plus 1.25 duration replaced with plus 55 Winter's Curse attack speed. Witch Doctor. Ooh, Witch Doctor's got a long one. Here we go. Innate ability is Gris Gris. Witch Doctor starts the game with Gris Gris, a neutral item that cannot be dropped or placed in the backpack. When the owner dies, 100% of the gold lost from death is added to the item cost, which also passively increases by 1 gold every 3 seconds. Can be consumed to permanently remove the item and refund the gold to Witch Doctor. For that, press right-click on the item and select Consume. Whenever the owner dies, gold loss is added to the item cost, which also passively increases by 1 gold every 3 seconds. That's whatever. For turbo, that's not that cool, but normal is cool. Facets, Headhunter, Paralyzing Cask. Cast damage increases by 35 per bounce. Voodoo Festeration deals damage to enemies instead of healing and has 200 more range at all levels. Oh, so they brought that back. Cleft Death Ward. Attack 2 separate targets at once with reduced by 30% damage. Prioritizes the closest enemy hero. So is that changes eggs then? Paralyzing Cask. No longer has bonus damage per bounce by default. You need to pick it by facet. Maledict now deals its first damage instantly upon application. Damage per second increased from 12 to 30 to 15 to 30. Tick damage interval decreased from 1 second to 0.5. Radius increased from 180 to 200. Cast range increased from 575 to 600. Ooh, nice buffs. Death Ward, damage decreased from 65 to 130 to 60 to 130. Cast range decreased from 600 to 500. Ooh, another nerf. Voodoo Switcheroo, attack speed reduction from 40 to 45 and increased from 40 to 50. Ew. 10 talent. 75 Maledict AoE replaced with 200 health. 15 talent, 300 health, replaced with 100 Maledict AoE. Level 20 talent burst damage increased from 25 to 30. Wraith King. Oh my goodness, these are difficult. Innate ability is Vampiric Spirit now. Okay. Oh, when slain, Wraith King is transformed into an untargetable Wraith with free pathing and increased attack speed and movement speed. Only transforms before the actual deaths, not before reincarnation. Can still reincarnate while in Wrath form, and reincarnation went off cooldown during using it. Wraith duration is 6 seconds with bonus attack speed 75 and 25% bonus move speed. Scepter turns a vampiric spirit into a 1200 range aura affecting allied heroes, increases Wraith duration by 1 second, and reduces respawn time by 10% for both Wraith King and allies that died as Wraiths. Wow. Facets, Bone Guard. Wraith King's abilities either summon skeletons to fight alongside their liege or help him in fight. Bone Guard. New Wraith King's second ability when the facet is picked for every 2 kills made gains a charge. Can be activated to summon 1 skeleton per charge to fight alongside Wraith King. Skeleton benefit from Spirit's lifesteal and can resurrect once. They deal 25% damage to buildings but gain 25% damage against enemy heroes. Max charge is 8. Skeleton damage up to 49. Duration 40 seconds. And Reincarnation. Number of skeletons per hero spawned when reincarnating increases from 123 to 234. Aghanim Shard no longer increases summon skeleton count. Spectral Blade. Wraith King's attacks may curse his enemies, and other abilities make this curse even stronger. Spectral Blade is a new basic second ability when this facet is picked. Wraith King's attacks passively place a curse that after 3 seconds will deal 80 pure damage and a physical damage equal to 70% of the cursing attack. Curse damage benefits from Spirit's lifesteal, and curse cooldown for heroes is 12 seconds. Curse cooldown for creeps is 6 seconds. Illusions of Wraith King do not benefit from the blade. Curse cooldown is reset on all units in a 900 radius when you're resurrecting. Wraithfire Blast no longer makes skeletons focus the spell's target nor provide increased attack speed. Mortal Strike, Aghanim Shard now also grants 150 critical damage when in Wraith form. Reincarnation, Wraith Aura from Ag Scepter move to an innate ability. Level 10 talent, 25% summon skeleton duration and minus 25% cooldown, replaced with 20% Wraithfire Blast impact damage and DPS. 15 talent of plus 23 skelly damage, replaced with 400 health. Level 20 talent, plus 5 minimum skelly spawned, replaced with plus 70 attack speed. Wraith got nerfed. Sad to see it. Depressed. Zeus. Innate ability is Static Field. Zeus shocks any enemy that he attacks or is hit by his abilities, causing damage equal to 4% of their current health. Ouchie. Facets, Livewire, Static Field. Makes damage depend on the distance between Zeus and the damaged enemy. Max percentage of 7% is reached at a distance of 200 or closer. Minimum percentage of 2% is dealt at a distance of 1200 or further. Divine Rampage, Thunder God's Wrath. Hits enemies in ascending order from ones with the lowest current health to the highest with a 0.2 second interval between strikes. When an enemy is killed by Thunder God's Wrath, damage for the remaining strikes is increased by 15%. Wow. That's OP. Arc Lightning no longer deals damage based on the enemy's current health. Damage increased from 85 to 160 to 90 to 180. Thunder God's Wrath no longer deals damage based on opponent's health. Damage increased from 300 to 500 to 300 to 650. Lightning Hands no longer grants plus 100 attack range, now grants 30 attack speed. And Illusion Damage Reduction now also applies to damage from Static Field. Level 20 talent plus 6% Arc Lightning current health as damage, replaced with plus 60 Arc Lightning damage. Alright, well there you have it. That's all the notes that I got so far. Well, not so far. That's all of them, man. I read all of them. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys actually sit through this entire thing and, you know, listen to all of this for whatever reason, maybe to help you sleep, maybe my voice calms you down, or maybe you just wanted to listen to it on your way to and from work, who knows. But if you made it to the very end of this, I really appreciate you, like truly from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for validating my time, because this takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot of time from my family when I do stuff like this. So the views just ain't there sometimes, which makes me feel like people don't like it. So if you made it this far, let me know in the comments somehow. I don't know. I don't want to say something that makes all of you look the same if multiple people actually sat through this, but I appreciate you. Let me know that you made it through with a, let's just say, I'm a real one, or something. Say, I'm a real one. If you say that in the comments, I'll know what happened. But I appreciate all you guys. Thanks so much for enabling this life for me, and that I can even make videos like this. I appreciate all you. Have a great night, great weekend. I hope your hero didn't get nerfed, and if it did, and it makes you not play the game, I'm sorry, but I've been there when they first nerfed my Tusk. So I completely understand, and enjoy your break. Well, anyways, see you guys in the next video. Enjoy Act 2. I'm out of here. My voice is gone. Good night. Goodbye. See you later.